All right, hello everyone. Welcome one and all to the continued adventures of the Rem Alternus Stream-A-Thon. Rem Alternus, it's a great place to make a community of friends that values your diversity, mental health, and sense of adventure, while also allowing you to nerd out over what you love to nerd out over. Which is why I'm here in my fabulous stage makeup running this new Power Rangers tabletop game one shot by Renegade Studios. So the Power Rangers tabletop game is a little different from D&D, Shadowrun, or Savage Worlds. It uses something called the Essence 20 system, which is unfamiliar for some and familiar to others. But when in doubt, we're all going to get through it together and we're going to have a lot of fun because I believe in having fun, just like I said last night. And just like any good Ranger team does together, I am John McDonald, aka Panabon, because on Sunday nights, that's who I play as the genderqueer, jewel eyebrowed relocation specialist and performance artist of Like Clockwork fame. You've also heard my voice in the Alternate Archives podcast from Brutal Wrestling and Saints and Sinners to an upcoming four-parter Christmas series called Twas. Today I am playing Zordon, aka the Game Master, because I am also Zordon and all the NPCs in an upcoming podcast brought to you by Alternate Archives, Becoming Mighty and Morphin. Before I let the players introduce themselves, hello players, I'm going to tell you about the giveaway for our little corner of Stone Canyon Heaven today. This one-shot giveaway is from the Pure Alchemy Soaps folks. You may have heard about the Kickstarter coming up on August 30th. If you are lusting, thirsting, or wanting an exclusive Dire Gelatinous Cube jelly soap, because you love dice, you love jelly, and you love to keep clean, you could win one. So, how you enter to win is over the course of this game. In the chat of Twitch, you can use the hashtag RemPC for one entry. If you give us 100 bits, that'll give you another entry. Or if you subscribe to the channel, you can get 7 entries. We also have a GoFundMe that we'll put a link to in the comments. And if you give, you get an entry per dollar that you give. But when you give that to the GoFundMe, don't forget to put your Twitch handle in, or we won't know who to give the reward to. All that being said, at the end of the stream, close to the end, Teslin, our fabulous tech for this episode, will be a bug in my ear and let me know who's won, and we'll get contacted for you so you get your very own Jiggly Dire Gelatinous Cube jelly soap that comes with little dice inside of it. It's super cool looking, super fun, super D&D. All that being said, I would love to introduce my players. I've asked the players to say their name, what they do at Rem or elsewhere, what their character's name is, and their character's favorite summer activity. I'd love to start with Isabits. Isabits, would you like to introduce yourself?
So I am Elizabeth, or Elizabeth. I am part of Like Clockwork. I play Drusilla, the human bard, every Sunday here at Rem Alternus. I also do a lot of the video editing for the streams that happen and upload it to the YouTube. I am going to be playing Jane, your Red Ranger today. And my favorite summer activity, since we're in Stone Canyon this time, is cookouts at the lake with my friends.
Fabulous. Jester, let's have you go next. By the way, Jane Russell does know she's the Red Ranger. Some of the Rangers coming in today are going to be deputized, so they don't actually know what Ranger they are yet. But Jane knows she's the Red Ranger because she's from Angel Grove. Jester, also from Angel Grove, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Patrick Bryant. I'm also known as Jester on anything internet related. I primarily do stuff with Fragging Unicorn Games, which is closely associated with Rem Alternus. The character that I'm playing is Eddie Thatch, kind of a lovable oaf of sorts, or at least that's the attempted way that I'm trying to portray them. Their favorite summer activity is kayaking, and their Hawaiian are we doing the Hawaiian shirt thing?
Not yet. Hold on to your Hawaiian
summer
shirt.
activity, kayaking.
Yes. So Eddie and Jane are both part of the Becoming Mighty and Morphin podcast, which will be premiering at the beginning of the new year in the Alternia archives. And so you will hear their voices when you listen into the podcast as well and see how they got where they are today at level 4. And our newly not yet deputized but soon to be Rangers include Katie Kirby, if you'd like to introduce yourself. Oh, you are muted, Katie.
Don't know how that happened. I don't remember doing that, but here we are. So, hi, I'm Katie, and I am not technically affiliated with Rem Alternus. I guess I am kind of now, but not really. I like
You
playing games.
are now.
I am now.
One of us.
But what I am affiliated with is San Antonio by Night, which is a Vampire the Masquerade stream on the Squirrels of Darkness Twitch channel. And I will be playing Leah Mackenzie. And her favorite summer activity is playing board games under the shade of her favorite tree because she doesn't handle sun very well.
Fabulous. And then we have Chris. Hi, Chris. What's up? Welcome.
Well, hello there, everybody. It's me, your boy, Chris, and I've been on a few of these streams and or shows and podcasts. I've been on BCW with Panabon up here, and I have been and I do Shadowrun on Tuesday nights, playing Frodo, the drone rigger. Laser cannon wrecking machine, and then I also write stuff in things. So yeah, that was my awkward introduction for the day.
Oh, it's good. What character? Who are you playing today?
Oh yeah, and I am playing Philip Michaels, new guy to Stone Canyon. Not sure what kind of ranger he is yet, but looking forward to it. And his favorite summertime activity is riding his e-bike to new locations, so like up and down the dunes, around the lake and whatnot. This is
it's so good. Stone Canyon, it's a big city and it's worth it. And then finally joining us, we have the lovely and fabulous Eric. Hello, Eric. Can you hear us?
I can, and I appear to be the shadow that hides in the darkness because my camera doesn't want to work today. I'm Eric. I'm with Norse Foundry Dice. I am the podcast stream liaison support person that deals with those things. And I'm also the guy who does nothing but does everything. I am going to be playing Alex Ace Marie, rebellious rocker who's just moved here from San Angeles. And his favorite summer activity is not going to school and jamming out in his garage playing his guitar.
Fabulous. For everyone listening in, if you're just starting us in the Stream-A-Thon, there may be a giveaway coming from North Foundry Dice that I'm very excited about because I know all the giveaways. So I'm telling you, stay tuned in. You never know what we're going to give away. But of course, this time we're giving away Jelly Dice, and it's very exciting and very us. Okay, so today, everyone, instead of your favorite summer activity, you are finding yourselves where all teenager journeys begin in this part of the world, at Ernie's Juice Bar. Sadly, this is not the original Ernie's Juice Bar in Angel Grove. It is merely the third in a set of franchises that Ernie has given his name to. It does have some delightful components to it, including fabulous blue glazed tile work at the exceptionally stocked Juice Bar, and Hawaiian shirt uniforms for all employees, which occurs nowhere else in Stone Canyon because they don't have a Trader Joe's. Stone Canyon is a couple hours away from Angel Grove. It's probably its nearest neighbor, give or take, but it's far enough away that it doesn't have to deal with the affectionately dubbed Area 52 military site, nor is it affected yet by the troubles that require the use of the Power Rangers. And the residents are pretty happy about that, more or less. Stone Canyon does compete with Angel Grove for tourist dollars, but it competes in its own ways. There's a lot of farmlands here. The state's most well-loved sand dunes are here for people that love touring the sand dunes, and they have an international hot air balloon competition, Stone Canyon. If you were here, you'd be home by now. And maybe that's why you decided to stay when you finished high school and you're in that weird space between high school and whatever's next because, you just finished 18, 19 years old, you might even be visiting for the summer from Angel Grove as a sort of vacation from the weirdness or to visit family. And maybe you took the job because you wanted to make some spare cash. Of course, if you are from Angel Grove and if you were already to be a Power Ranger, as you were going on vacation, Zordon did inform you that your power coin may appear to you at any time if there is a sense of danger present, but you are too far away from the command center to be teleported to safety. Zordon warns you, as always, an encryptic Zordon fashion, warns you to be vigilant, but so far, nothing has come up yet. It's been smooth sailing, even in the job interview. You five, along with most of the staff, were all hired in one kind of big group interview at the Juice Bar last week, and out of 100 or so applicants, you were all chosen amongst 28, but you weren't told what your job was going to be until you arrived to clock in the day for your first day and receive your job and your official Hawaiian t-shirt. So now we're going to have our first roll, and the fates are going to decide what job you get. I have 5 jobs, one for each of you, but you're going to roll a d20 and tell me what role you get. I'm going to tell you your job, and then you're going to let me know what your Hawaiian shirt looks like. So everybody roll a d20 and tell me what number you got.
I got an 8.
All right. Jane got an 8. All right, I see a 14 from Philip.
Also 14.
Also 14. Was that from Leia?
Yes.
Okay. And we have Eddie got a 2.
I rolled a 4.
Rolled a 4. Ace rolled a 4. Okay, can I have Katie, or I'm going to say, call you by your characters' names. Can I have Leia and Philip roll again so that we have different values?
I got another 14.
But I think you had a 13 there, didn't you, Philip? So that will affect everything. All right, so Eddie, you are going to be part of the gym floor staff. You are in charge of helping to make sure the exercise and gymnastics equipment is moved on and off the floor of the lower level of the juice bar, and so it doesn't get in the way. You do a bit of custodial work, and you change over the fuzzy gray movable walls in the big meeting rooms on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd floor. Eddie, what kind of Hawaiian shirt did you pick for work for your first day?
You're muted.
I was going to say I couldn't hear.
Thank you. I muted myself because I have a clickety-clack keyboard and I forgot to unmute myself. But the Hawaiian shirt that I selected, I found an image for and I put it into the Roll20 so y'all can look at it. It's in my bio. It is a Our Flag Means Death Hawaiian shirt.
Ooh, Our Flag Means Death Hawaiian shirt. Could be ominous, could be fabulous. This is just color too, if you'll pardon the pun. So this is just fun and talking about more about your characters. So Our Flag Means Death Hawaiian shirts. Coming up next, Ace. You have been granted a job working in the dish pit. It is probably one of the busiest jobs, but you get a lot of time to yourself. As long as you keep all of the blenders clean as they come back to you, you can listen to whatever music you want. Nobody's going to complain if you dance around, as long as you do your job and there's dishware. Ace, what kind of Hawaiian shirt are you wearing to the dish pit? Because yes, it's arbitrary, but yes, you still got to do it.
So he shows up with the brightest blue, like Detroit Lions blue, if anybody knows what color that is. It's like obnoxious blue with flowers and pictures of his dog all over it. and he tries to get by with wearing his jean jacket without sleeves as much as he can until somebody says something. Then he'll take it off till they walk away, and then he puts it back on because that's what he likes to wear.
Yes. What kind of dog is that?
It is a Florida Cur. If you guys know what that is, it's a mixture of a hound, like a Catahoula, and a boxer, and it's just a big hunting dog-looking dog.
All right. Fabulous. Okay, coming out of Rick's Jane. Jane, you get a job at the actual juicing station in the juice bar. Jane, how do you feel about oranges?
They're not my favorite, but I don't mind them.
You're going to hate them at the end of your job because literally everything that you have to do, even if you get like carrots and wheatgrass and bananas, it's very orange heavy, orange forward. Suffice it to say, you're never going to want for orange juice because you have this giant kind of machine, and it is red, by the way, just to let you know. And you like feed, you kind of toss the oranges in, and they squeeze down. And it's really neat. But like you're going to be very orange at the end of this. So you might be sick of oranges by the end of this. It would be really funny if your Hawaiian shirt was orange as well. What kind of Hawaiian shirt did you bring?
So I kind of borrowed a Hawaiian shirt out of my grandfather's closet. So it's a little bit too big. So I have a tank top underneath, and it's black with bright red parrots all over it.
Awesome. Okay, and with the 13 of Philip, you have been assigned to work at the front desk. Not as exciting as some of the other jobs, but your job is relatively important. You have to make sure none of the incoming teens are on a break, aka blacklisted from entry, which even though it's the first day, somehow that's already happened to a couple people. And you also help to plan room reservations. You can't actually see the juice bar. You're in a small breezeway offset from lockers, but you do have a full view of the first floor hallway. Philip, they gave you a whole choice of Hawaiian shirts. What kind of Hawaiian shirt are you wearing?
Philip is wearing a Hawaiian shirt that has it is like tidal waves coming in. There's a lot of blue, and then in the back, and then there's oranges towards the shoulders, like it's the sunrise.
All right. And then Leia, you are an employee, technically, but you were hired for a different purpose. Now, you are still hired staff, so you do have to take your breaks at the same time. You have a walkie-talkie, an employee badge, and your Hawaiian shirt. But technically, you work more on the second floor, and you teach these amateur pre-professional classes of some kind. In fact, when they looked at your application, they considered you at least semi-professional at something you do. And so if you can think of that on the fly, what do you think you're teaching a class in? Or that they told you you're teaching a class in?
I would imagine that I'm training in customer service. Some kind of specific, what kind of specific customer service? I don't know.
We're going to say that you're doing... we're going to say that you're doing like skits so people learn how to like serve others, like you're doing
so good.
the live action version of those. If you ever go on YouTube and you look at those like Wendy's training videos, it's like that, but it's like a live action skit version of that.
All the role play. Just like, all right.
It's actually a fairly popular class. You were pretty busy in the morning more than the afternoon because everyone likes to take the naps in Stone Canyon. There's like a siesta culture here, which is really cool. Okay, so it is currently 11 a.m. on a vibrant and busy Friday summer morning. The one thing about the Essence 20 system is that every person at the start of a one-shot gets what are called story points. If you are a ranger from Angel Grove, you can take all of the points that you've accrued and use them for this if you so wish. Remember, you can only use one a scene, and all story points for current and future rangers do go into a pool. So after you've spent yours, you can always ask a ranger friend to borrow a story point if you want to do something like re-roll a roll of some kind. There is a little handout in the Roll20 for what the story points do. But basically, they can be used to re-roll a 1. They can roll a skill test. If you don't have a specialization, you can roll it as if you're specialized, so you at least get the D2 roll. And then there are some ranger things that it can do when you're morphed. But you're not morphed yet, but you may need to be soon. So we're going to go back through these, and we're going to have a little one-on-one time. So, Eddie, you get a kind of thing over your walkie-talkie. You hear your supervisor say, Eddie Thatch, I need you to move the uneven barge and the balance beams out of the closet. We're going to have, after lunch, we're going to have a gymnastics thing happening. So you have to go into like this slim, long hallway closet thing, and you have to sort of unset brakes, and you have to climb, and you have to get some stuff out of that closet.
I'll respond to the little walkie-talkie thing. Do you need me to even out the bars?
The boss goes, ha ha, haven't heard that one in a day. Please do the job without extra.
Okay. I guess they just want uneven bars. Go over to the cramped space and do the best I can to try to fish out what they're asking for, if I can identify it.
It's fairly easy to identify because most things have labels on them. I want you to give me an acrobatics to see how well you climb some of this stuff. You can give me acrobatics. If your athletics, climbing is better, I'll let you use that. But if your acrobatic is higher, use that.
No, they're both the same. It's as low as possible. Submit, pressing buttons. All right, we have the roll, and I have I opened up a new tab.
But you got a 2, which is not ideal or desirable necessarily, but it's not the end of the world. I will say, because you made that joke about the uneven bars, the universe didn't think it was funny either. And as you're trying to get through the uneven bars, you trip, and you're now underneath the uneven bars, which in a shadowy hallway is actually a little scary because it's a very thin, like the equipment is jammed in there, and if someone didn't know you were in there, you could get trapped in theory. The more worrying thing for you in a moment, give me an alertness roll.
One moment. Apparently, I closed out the Roll20 window, so I'm just jumping back in.
Okay.
You said an alertness?
Let's see how alert you are. And in this game, alertness stands for investigation, perception, and insight. So alertness handles a lot of that.
With that, I rolled a 7.
You rolled a 7. So, for just about half a second, you thought maybe like your boss had come in to check up on you, but like in the back of your mind, like, I've only been in here a couple minutes. It's not that big a deal. The issue is that a couple seconds after you turn to look to see who's kind of looking at you, and there's no one there, you turn to look back, and on the floor next to you, next to a wheelbase of this set of uneven bars, is your power coin.
Can I reach it?
Yeah, you can reach it. It's your power coin. It knows you.
Yeah, grab it, and I guess you didn't, like, I must have dropped it or something.
The second you touch your power coin, your morph belt or your morph wrist thing, however you have it, because I can't remember which one you decided to use, appears on your body. You didn't have it with you this morning.
Okay.
Also, did you notice Jane at orientation? Because it was a big group of people. I actually want you to give me a persuasion to see if you noticed Jane or not.
The diplomacy apply? Not really. I don't think it would. Yeah, I'm not gonna
I'll
apply.
give you diplomacy. I'm a kind Jane. I'll give you diplomacy. I want to see if you noticed Jane in orientation or not.
Did that?
Oh.
I hit the buttons.
Jane?
No, holy crap! So I have quite a decent amount in that skill, and I still rolled an 8.
So Jane, suffice it to say, something happens to your hair during summer where it gets lighter or darker or something. So Eddie didn't notice you, but you're going to notice each other today. So that's good or bad, depending upon who you ask. So Eddie, you're able to get the equipment out of the closet somewhat. You don't want to put it out yet. But you have your power coin and your morphing belt, and Zordon did say if trouble was near that it would appear for you. So bear that in mind.
Ominous.
Yeah, ominous. Ace, you are at the dish pit. What kind of music? What kind of super rebellious, hardcore, death metal, guar type music are you playing in the dish pit, if that is the kind of rebel you are, in fact?
He is actually jamming to Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue, because his dad was a studio musician for all those bands back in the day. So that's what he grew up listening to. And he knows it's not popular anymore. So.
All right. As you are jamming out, I want you to give me an alertness roll.
All right. Alertness. I'm going to tell you now I'm predisposed to failing this because roll 20 hates me.
I mean, it happens.
It hasn't been showing me much love yet either, so.
Last night was terrible for me, so.
Well, you got a 15, so it's not awful.
We're in Bizarro world.
So, Ace, or Alex, which is your government name, as it were, you get the feeling someone is watching you over your shoulder. Like it has like it's a little tingling on your shoulder, like someone is like watching you sing, but they're not even coughing or interrupting you. What do you do when someone is intruding on a private moment, or well, semi-private?
In this case, he would turn around and yell, "Go away!"
There's no one there. You're yelling at no one.
That's just weird.
And a couple seconds later, someone does come around the corner with a giant blender full of spoons that they haphazardly put some water in because they were trying to be helpful. But they heard you say "go away" to nothing, and they just kind of give you a look and go, "It's first day, man. Lay off of it for like the first day, please."
Yeah, how about no? Just put it down and go away.
Okay, continuing the tradition of the pirate-like dish pit crew. As you go to take the spoons out, they are big dessert spoons, which should not be in a blender, might I say. And as you go to take one out, a whole bunch of them tumble down to the floor, and you're going to need to get those because the dish pit drain is great, but it's going to get waterlogged. I want you to give me an infiltration.
And I suppose shadowing won't work.
I always say when you do it, when I give you a skill, even if it seems like a weird specialization, always take your specialization with me because it can only benefit you.
Oh, okay. Let me start that over then.
Unless you really don't want to. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but I want everyone to succeed. So
don't you tell me what to do. You're not my dad.
Oh. I am your Zordon, though. Not yet, but soon. Great. So with that 21, you scoop up a whole bunch of spoons, but there's one in like the dish drain. Like it went a little far, so you got to get under there a little bit. You go down to reach for the spoon. That's really weird. there's something on the spoon, and it looks like a coin of some kind. It's like a power coin, I guess. It looks like something like you'd see in like a Pirates of Penzance thing. It's like super gold, but like if you bite into it, it's if it's real gold, it's way too hard.
It's
Has a
not
little
chocolate.
dragon, has a little dragon emblem on it, uh, which is a little weird, kind of cool. I mean, if you like dragons, but it's kind of weird that it's here.
He muttered to himself, some kid must have lost his cosplay pretend stuff, but it looks pretty cool. So he'll scoop it up and drop it in his pocket and dig out the spoon and grumble
Hey,
about wasting
you
his
don't
time.
have you don't have any moral imperative to do this, but I will let you know that you've been told there is a lost and found at the front desk, so you can always redo it or take it up to the front desk if you feel so inclined, or you could just keep it.
Well,
It's gonna
since
be
I'm super busy right now, having to make sure that everybody and their grandmothers has their shakes done, I don't have time to do that right now. So I'll get to it eventually.
Ernie's Juice Bar is great because it's really good at shakes. Ernie's Juice Bar is also really bad for the people that work there because it's so good at shakes. It's not a deluge, but it's like summer morning on a Friday. All the teens in town are here. Um, Jane. So lots of oranges are getting juiced. You get one of those customers that is a staring customer. They are watching you work. They have kind of a Karenish haircut. It's got that kind of asymmetrical, angry swoop, and they're just like hyper focused on you. And they go, wait, not that orange. I want the other orange.
That orange?
Yes, that one. What are you silly? Yes, I want that orange over there.
Okay. My apologies. Hold on. And I
Apologies. I'm
grab the
sure
other
it's
orange.
apologies. I want you to roll me a culture.
Now, my specialization is culinary arts, so hopefully I get a
That
good
is not
roll.
what this is for. Culture, not
Oh,
not
you're
performance.
right. I'm sorry. I was thinking performance, but I got an 18 culture.
You got an 18 culture. Terrifyingly, for a moment, the entire room turns gray, and your Karen turns into a putty. But it's just for a moment. Um, just for probably a longer moment than you want. You have like a "That's So Raven Simone" look for a moment. Like you look like you spaced out while you're holding the orange. And when you come back to it, the woman is just like tapping her foot. And because she's like 16 and wearing yoga pants, it's not threatening at all. But it's weird to see a 16-year-old do it. But you're holding this orange and you've just seen putties. I want you, whatever that noise was. Okay. I want you to toss that orange into the basket. Great. So, you know how orange juice usually comes out of the orange juice squeezer thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of orange juice coming out, your power coin comes out of the juicer. It just slides like right down onto the cutting board for you. It's like, hi, hello there.
Well, that's odd, but okay. I just kind of look around and pick it up and put it in my pocket.
Great. The second you pick it up, your morph belt wrist thing appears on you, which you did not bring with you to work, by the way. But you are wearing. Jester, I'm going to have you mute yourself. Sorry about that. But you are wearing a big shirt, so kind of covers it actually. Only you know what's really there. Give me an alertness roll to see if you noticed that Eddie is one of the other people in this building.
21?
Yeah, you noticed Eddie, but there was like this kind of weird group breakout activity, so you didn't actually get to talk to them. But you both do technically have walkie-talkies. talkies.
Whatever I say on the walkie-talkie, though, anybody else who has a walkie-talkie is going to pick it up. Is that correct?
Yes, that is
Okay.
true.
I'm gonna pick up my walkie-talkie and, hey Eddie, are you busy?
No, not really. What's up?
I'm having kind of a strange morning. What about you?
Would strange be kind of like ominous, possible doom looming kind of thing? Like, you know.
Actually, yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
Fun
One of the
times, then
bosses,
yes.
one of the bosses comes over, and you hear 2316 in the locker rooms, which is code for someone threw up in one of the locker rooms. And so anyone hearing the conversation assumes the ominous has to do with the locker room throw up. Um, but Eddie, you know Jane is there, and Jane has just confirmed something for you, but you don't know what it's about yet, unless you can think of a way to investigate.
When can you take your break?
You have not. You will get a message over the walkie-talkie when anyone can take their break.
Okay. If we can get our breaks together, maybe we should meet up and discuss what happened.
Oh, would it be possible for me to be able to like flag down like whoever's supervising or whatever and talk to them not over the walkie-talkies?
Oh, that's sweet of you to think that you can find your boss at a summer job.
Not just at a summer job, man. There's a lot of
All teens with attitude, man, except for your boss, and he is sick of teens with attitude, and it's only day one, come to think of it. So let's move on. Philip, you are at the front desk, and about 8 minutes ago, a group of three girls came in, gave you their ID, introduced themselves. You noticed that none of them have any problems. They kind of remind you of the Hex Girls from Scooby Doo. They've kind of got like the witchy paraphernalia, black crop top fishnet sort of vibe going on. They have a room reservation for something called the Female Empowerment Club, and they are going off to their room. I want you to give me an alertness roll. $19. With that 19, you notice as the three girls go past, one of them doesn't have a shadow.
That's and he's gonna look around and see if like maybe the lighting's just weird in this one particular spot or something.
Yeah, the fluorescent lighting is not flattering, but fluorescent lighting is known for capturing shadows, and one of them definitely did not have a shadow. Also, your coworker Beth, she is really invested in typing away on her like MacBook and is not paying attention to her job as she should. I want you to head over to where the walkie-talkies are and give me a culture roll, please.
And always use the specialization.
Always use a specialization.
Wah wah.
Okay. Well, so there should be walkie-talkies on the base charging, and there are no current walkie-talkies on the base. There is this kind of weird pirate coin on the base of the walkie-talkie stand that definitely looks like it belongs from some sort of pirate-themed costume, but it has a dinosaur on it, which is kind of weird, like a triceratops of some kind. If you remember, dinosaur history.
Huh. So he's gonna take out like he's gonna take out like a little pad because he's an artist and he always has like a little sketch pad, and he's gonna pick up the coin just to like it with the intention of making a rubbing of it.
Great. When you try to move the coin, it moves with your fingers. You can't seem to set it down long enough to get a proper rubbing of it.
What? He kind of says to himself, like, as he's trying to just try to take a rubbing of it, and he can't. It's just sliding around. Um, and he looks to Beth. He like, did you drop a coin?
Beth is like, "What? Panera for lunch? Yeah, sure," and then goes back to work.
Oh, okay. And then he just slides it into his pocket, and then he goes back up to the front. Continue working.
Great, wonderful. You continue working because it's a steady stream of customers. Um, Leia, you have a class going on. Your class is ending because it's getting close to lunchtime, which is great for many reasons. It was not a particularly good class. It turns out people in Stone Canyon like being in their shell, and it's actually really hard to get them to like do the exercise get role play for even if they like actually want to do customer service stuff. In fact, you had one girl that cried from stage frights. I want you to uh, give me a persuasion roll to see how you handled the crying 16-year-old who just could not do it.
Sure.
Oh, 12. You keep candy on a little bowl on your desk for a reason. And she didn't like the Jolly Ranchers or the Warheads, but she took a Werther's Original. It's Werther's Original.
Favorite too.
They're tasty and soothing.
Yeah.
And so you got to bond over that. Do you have any tips for her as she leaves the room?
So, as far as this kind of thing is concerned, I would just do everything I can to put myself in uncomfortable situations going forward because it's less jarring if you're used to it.
Great. Speaking of uncomfortable situations, give me an alertness roll.
Speaking of uncomfortable situations, yeah. Oof, not particularly alert. A 9.
Not
Failure.
particularly alert. It's alert enough to hear there is a commotion outside of the window. Now, the windows on the second floor look down into the courtyard, which is a central feature of every Ernie's Juice Bar. For like, it's like a fire pit. There's like a grill thing going on, just like a place with like a tree people can hang out at. But when you go to look outside the window, nobody's outside.
Could have sworn that I heard something outside.
And then on the windowsill, you see a coin. Someone must have left behind it, but you don't remember anyone having this. It's got a little bear insignia on it. Kind of cute, actually, but it's kind of weird.
I'm not particularly inclined to pick it up, but she will anyway. Just seems like something she should do, but she'll put it in her back pocket. Not really think about it again.
Great. As a reminder, there is a lost and found, so you can always call it in if
Yeah,
you're feeling so inclined.
maybe later.
Okay.
Completely forget it exists.
Yeah. So you've all kind of had this weirdness happen. Everyone has found a coin, or some people know it's a power coin. But while you're thinking about the morning's events, all of your walkie-talkies go off. Everybody's walkie-talkies goes off except for like 5 people, and those are all the bosses. Reminding you that it is time for your mandated lunch break at Ernie's Juice Bar. Community is a whole thing, so there's no actually employee break room. You're going to end up at the juice bar with your lunch, and there's going to be a table that's open that will fit 5 people, and the 5 of you will be the last ones there, because that's just how it works. While you think about that, I'm going to do a special reminder um, about the giveaway that we're having. The giveaway for this one shot called Customer Service is the Best is for an exclusive Dire Gelatinous Cube Jelly Soap brought to you by our friends at Pure Alchemy. They are having a Kickstarter for it on August 30th, which we at REM have been talking about a little bit, but there are more details to come. It's a really cool soap. I think it's actually going to be green with the dice in it, but I could be wrong about that. But if you love dice and you love keeping yourself clean, you'll love it. Remember that you can enter to win over the course of this one stream game by using the hashtag REMBC for one entry, give us 100 bits for another entry, or subscribe to the channel for 7 entries. We do also have the GoFundMe, which hopefully the link has been put in the chat. And you can get an entry per dollar given to our GoFundMe. And thank you for supporting us at REM. But do not forget when you give that entry to put your Twitch handle in, or we won't know who to give the points to. And at the end of the stream, we're going to have a beautiful, wonderful raffle. And someone's going to win some dice and a gelatinous cube. Who doesn't love that? This is also the group that if you want to get those soaps that are like RPG themed for your character, I think, Isabeth, you have some of those soaps. Can you speak to the quality of the Pure Alchemy brand for a moment, breaking continuity from the show?
They are amazing. They smell amazing. They feel amazing when you use them. She does a great job. I love it.
Are you jealous of whoever's going to win the Jiggly Gelatinous
Yes,
Cube?
very much so. I'm kind of hoping it's me, but if it's not, I'll be jealous of whoever wins it.
So note that you will make a Red Ranger jealous if you win, which is almost worth winning itself, considering how cool the Rangers are. Okay, so it is lunchtime. There is a table with 5 chairs. There are 5 of you. I may not be a scientist, but it seems like you each have a place to sit at lunch, and if you didn't know each other, you're going to make some friends today. Jane and Eddie, you do know each other. I don't know how many people know you're from Angel Grove, but you both know each other, so there's at least that. And welcome to the table, everyone. What are we all having for lunch?
I'm having Dino Nugs. Dino Nugs, fries, and tater tots. And he just kind of he just wants a bunch of like one-handed finger food so he can have his other hand free to draw.
Tasty and carb loading.
Yeah.
Leo, what kind of lunch are you having? Did you just like grab this big thing of candy from the bowl and you're just like, I'm just gonna have Jolly Ranchers today?
She just had this feeling she should have maybe a little bit something more than sugar for lunch. Is that me?
Yeah. I think that might be you.
Mine's not lit up when it made the noise, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So she thinks she's kind of fancy sometimes. She grabbed sort of a to-go container with a bunch of sushi. And so she has all of her sort of little favorites. And she has a little bit of eel. She has a little bit of spicy tuna roll, and she has just like one piece of red snapper, which she leaves to the end because it's her favorite. But while she's doing that, she kind of like glances over at the Dino Nuggies, and she's like, "Hey, you match my shirt," because her Hawaiian shirt has dinosaurs on it. So.
Oh, look at that. Do you mind if I sketch you?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, dinosaurs that are being beamed up by UFOs, so it's a whole thing.
Oh, dude, that's sweet. Where'd you get that shirt?
Etsy.
Ooh.
I'll get you the link.
Yeah, please shoot it over to me. I'm Philip, by the way. Nice to meet you.
Oh, I'm Leah. Thanks. Nice to meet you too. I'm up on the 2nd floor dealing with training stuff all day.
I'm on the 1st floor. It says as he's like just kind of like glancing up at you and just like doodling along. So how long have you been here?
Not too long. I'm not really sure why they put me up on the 2nd floor. I don't really have a lot of management experience, but for whatever reason, maybe it's the fact that I'm a theater person. They thought I could handle this kind of stuff, but it's definitely different than any other job I've ever had. So, how about you?
I'm just new to the area in general, and
yeah.
So I'm just kind of keep it to myself and just trying to make some scratch so I can, enjoy the summertime. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Great.
And he just kind of like looks down the way at what, Eddie? Is that your name?
Yeah.
So what's going on with you, my man?
Not much. Was debating for a bit what to get to eat, but they got dino nugs. I see you got them too.
Dino nugs are the shit. Oh, just and he's kind of like looking around, make sure the manager's not behind him. Doesn't want to get.
They don't care.
Oh, okay, sweet.
I mean, GM note, we are on Twitch stream, so, it also is the Rangers. So if you could say shoot, that would be preferred. But that's all the censoring that I will do.
Okay. Shoot.
Oh, shucky darns.
Yes. By the way, Ace, you had to come out for lunch from behind the dish pit. Did you leave your music blaring by any chance?
Yes, and he's also got his headphones in, probably listening to something completely different, because he really doesn't care who he's offending right now. He's going to walk over with his salad and sugar-free soda, because he's not touching a shake because he's sick of them already after a couple hours of cleaning up them. You mind if I sit here?
No, go ahead.
Thanks. So he'll sit down and ignore whoever's yelling at him to turn the music down because he's on break.
How loud is the music from like his headphones? Is that something audible to people near him?
Oh no, it's the music in the back from the dishwasher.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's loud, but he's only got one headphone in, so.
It's like the best hits of what is it, Slayer or something like that? The best of AC/DC or something.
Yeah, he's on to Megadeth right now.
Megadeth. Speaking of Megadeth, Jane, you're going to be lost to join the table. You smell a lot like oranges already. You may be having the same feeling that Ace is having. But you definitely have your power coin, and you probably maybe potentially want to have a conversation with Eddie, but also Eddie's at a table full of new people that are potential friends while you're here in Stone Canyon. What are you doing in Stone Canyon, Jane? Are you on holiday with the Grands?
Yeah, so my grandparents decided to do like a summer getaway. So we are vacationing in Stone Canyon. But I get bored very quickly. So I decided to get a summer job. There's a really nice easel that I want to buy. So I want to save up some money so I can buy it at the end of the summer.
Fancy. Okay, well, Eddie is at a table making friends. Would you like to make friends, or would you like to pull Eddie aside?
I don't want to be rude, so I will go up to the table and ask if I can join them. And then I will pull Eddie aside at the end.
Great. Jane has entered the chat. Jane is now at the table.
As Jane slides in, I'm going to pull up I think I finished my sketch, which is what this performance role is. And show Leah across the table. What do you think?
I didn't see your check. Was it a good check?
13 is good. It's
okay.
It's not like Picasso tried to draw you and put your nose where your chin is.
That looks great. Yeah, no, I think that's great. I like the way that you did the dinosaurs and the beaming. It's great. I'm fully impressed.
He doesn't believe you. It's like it's like, oh yeah, you're too kind, thanks. And then he just kind of like slides the dino nugget, the tray into the center. It's like yeah, I got way too many. You got way too many fries. So like, anybody wanna share? Go have these on these.
If you like salt, the fries are your favorite thing, because literally you can see giant flecks of salt. Whoever they decided was going to run the fryer did not understand the idea of shaking the fries before you ate them. So they're just like salt covered layer just on them slightly.
Mm, I think I have enough salt for my soy sauce. I'm good.
You gonna have some fries with that salt there, buddy?
Hey, I didn't make them. I'm front of house.
Probably why he's not able to finish them too. I mean, goodness, that's a bit much.
I'm Jane, by the way. I'm making smoothies this summer, so I apologize if I reek of oranges. That's all I can smell right now, so I apologize.
I'd probably reek of dream mats at this point, so probably not the worst thing.
Oranges is good.
Orange is a good smell. It's good.
I liked it until I was cutting up oranges for like 4 hours, and now I'm kind of over it. But
maybe
it's nice to eat
lemons or something to like break it up.
Is there really a difference?
Probably not after
oranges and lemons?
Hours.
Yeah.
Do what?
Did he say if there's a difference between oranges and lemons?
Like the smell, like is there really like a noticeable smell difference between the two different kinds of
I mean,
yes.
Whenever you grab it, the juice squirts in your eye. They both sting. Like it gets everywhere. But they're both refreshing smells. I mean, sure. I mean, there's minor differences. And then he goes back to sketching.
You've not had good experiences with fruits by the sound of it.
No.
There's one sketch in your notebook that is like fruits, but like it's like X'd out because as you were drawing, then you like tripped over them or something like that.
There's a reason it's nothing but potatoes here. Potatoes and nuggets.
Are you an artist too?
I am. Yeah. I think
cool.
you are?
I am, yeah.
What's your favorite
to
medium?
paint. It's a toss-up between paint and clay.
Awesome. I do more sketch and line work myself on the computer.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm not really good with doing it on the computer. I've tried, and it's just not really my forte. I prefer paintbrush.
I hear you. You got to show me your portfolio sometime.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I have it at the house we're running. I can bring it next shift. Yeah. So how's everybody's first day been so far?
Honestly, pretty fucking weird. Pretty freaking weird.
I made a girl cry, so I guess doing okay.
Like girl have a shadow?
Like on purpose?
No, she just wasn't big on the whole improv thing that we were doing upstairs.
Oh, the kind of like a little bit of like a comfort thing, anxiety or whatever.
Yeah, I guess I didn't make her cry.
Yikes.
I got yelled at by a 16-year-old girl because I picked up the wrong orange.
That tracks.
I washed a bunch of dishes.
Ooh, that's not fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we all had an encounter with a girl that was kind of odd today.
No.
I mean, besides you, Ace, my bad. But yeah, like a lady walked in today and she didn't have a shadow. She was with a group of other girls.
I kind of looked at Eddie and
vibe.
kind of talked to him with my eyes, like this seems kind of familiar.
Yeah, Eddie just kind of nods his head and tries to like kind of listen. Doesn't want to like blurt out or reveal something too much to get him in trouble.
Yeah.
Hey, Ace, give me an alertness roll.
Wrong screen. Where is it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's alertness. It's under smarts. It's in a weird place.
It's the one. It's the one that I get a snag on every single time.
Okay. Well, you get a snag. So the 12 is kind of your friend here. You know how you had that like weird coin in your dish drain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you drop your like music device for a second, just fumbles your fingers as you're like getting through your salad. And as you bend down to pick it up, there is a glint of that same kind of color gold. Um, and it looks like someone has that as like a belt buckle feature, which is kind of weird. You don't linger, so you can't tell who it is, but like someone at the stable has one of these coins.
So he will sit back up. He'll look at everybody. He'll reach into his pocket and pull out the coin and go, I think this belongs to one of you guys because it matches your belt buckle. It's in the drain.
Can I see that?
Is it yours?
No, but I just can I see it real quick?
Wait, what?
You actually Ace, I want you to try to give me a might check, Ace. We'll do might for this.
Am I grappling with my coin?
You're actually grappling with Leia trying to grapple with your coin.
Okay, so then yes.
So Leia, you can look at it, but like every time you try to reach out to take the coin with the dragon emblem on it, Ace's fingers kind of curl around it protectively. Like and Ace, you're not trying to do this, but like it seems like every time Leia tries to touch it, your body just involuntarily just jerks back a little bit.
He's just gonna kind of smile, like he knows he's not doing it on purpose, but like he's gonna pretend like he is.
I wasn't trying to take it from you. I just was okay. So here's why. And she pulls hers out of her back pocket, and she's like, "I have something like that too. Where did you find it?
In the
Did you bring it
drain.
with you? In the drain? That's weird.
By the way,
Actually, it fell out of a blender next to a spoon into the drain, I guess.
Huh.
So, by the way, as you are discussing this, this conversation is interrupted by a scream, a blood-curdling scream from somewhere in the building. It's like 2 or 3 voices, and the whole juice bar just kind of stops. And then over the radio, because the radio are connected to the couple of security dudes in the building that they hired professionally, the phrase, "What was that?" And then a few seconds later, "What are those? Evacuate the building, get everyone out." And unfortunately, because there are many walkie-talkies happening, there's not a stampede, but there's a confluence of people leaving the juice bar all at once.
Well,
Looks at Eddie and so much for our summer vacation, right?
yeah, but at least it's not just the 2 of us. Looks like we got these 3 as well.
This is awesome.
Hang on. You are really comfortable with something. What is okay? You're real comfortable here.
With that, Eddie stands up and you kind of like see the belt buckle thing kind of matches some of the symbolism on the stuff.
Oh, so this is yours.
Oh no, that's yours.
That's definitely yours. And he points at Leah, that's yours. And then goes to point over to Philip, like, I'd imagine you got one too?
Yeah, mine has a Triceratops on it. Which one you got?
Mastodon.
T-Rex.
Pretty badass.
Oh, so we all dinosaurs? Like we all get dinosaur? Like, is there like a dinosaur slot machine nearby? Like do we get plushies? Like, what is it?
No, dude, I'm a dragon.
No.
Mine's cool.
So,
dinosaur.
Some kind of
fun fact.
People are still running out. So depending upon how you explain this, Jane, someone may overhear you. So you may want to take a moment or confer with Eddie before you decide how exactly you're going to explain what this means. You do also, by the way, you do have your risk communicators. It's dicey because you're really far from the command center being in Stone Canyon, but you also could try to call Zordon. It's very possible to try, but it is a high difficulty.
What do you think, Eddie?
I'm thinking that we should try to figure out where the stream is. The three of you don't seem to be too terribly scared either, which seems really good for that. But don't you care about whoever's in trouble? And go try to help them.
Dude, riots are amazing. What are you talking about?
Welcome to the team.
Team?
Yeah.
Okay.
Team.
Talk about it later. Like we can't do it when there's a lot of
there's too
people
many
around.
people around.
I just
Alright.
signed up for a trainer job. Like I don't know. I'm just confused.
Wait, I'm
Seems
here
like
because my mom made me come.
It feels like the toy at the bottom of Cracker Jack box.
What?
Just come with
But,
us.
yeah, we should probably
Eddie,
get out
remember-
of this rush.
Eddie, just remember, this is like the Pog thing. They may not know what Cracker Jacks are. You did have to explain Pogs, so you may have to explain what Cracker Jacks are.
That nasty caramel popcorn crap.
Like the things
Something my
from the
grandfather
girl-
gave to me a few times.
How is that relevant to screaming people and golden coins and
Well, not to screaming people. I'd hope. That's not relevant to Cracker Jacks. Oh man.
Most of the, by the way, most of the people have vacated the building, and along with that, the security forces. So, except for the intermittent screaming that you hear coming from somewhere in the building, you are at this point, unless someone is hiding in the dish pit. You have pretty much the place is cleared, and they have not gone back to figure that everybody has left. You hear over the radios, "This is some Angel Grove nonsense," and then the security guards are out of range. I'm not paraphrasing. That's exactly what the security guards say to Angel Grove nonsense.
What does
I
that
don't know
even
how-
mean?
Are we sure it's not just like another training seminar? Like I do this kind of stuff upstairs, and like maybe it's just like maybe if like there's an act like a situation, and like this is how we. No.
It's definitely a situation, but I'd be very surprised if this was a test. Let's go ahead and just, with that, I'm gonna like motion everyone like follow me, and I'm gonna try to go to where the screaming was coming from, try to figure out what's going on.
Okay.
So Ernie's Juice Bar is quite a bit like Ernie's Juice Bar in Angel Grove. There is 3 levels. There is the courtyard. There is roof access. You're pretty sure the scream is localized to the first couple of floors, but there is an echo. And fun fact, I want you, Philip, to give me a culture roll.
Alrighty.
Nothing seems out of the ordinary to you.
Alrighty.
Remember, you do have a story point, but you can.
I will
consider
use that.
saving. Yes,
I will use that story point, so I get to re-roll.
you get to re-roll. I let it be for any. It's supposed to be for once, but I let it be for anything 3 or under, just because that keeps the game.
Ha! Great success.
Yeah. So you know how the hallway earlier had those great fluorescent lights that were keeping everything bright, at least.
Mhm.
Yeah, those fluorescent lights are now kind of flickering. And Jane and Eddie, give me a culture roll.
Uh, 16.
18 for Eddie.
Great. This hallway was not this long this morning. You weren't here for very long, but Eddie especially. Remember how you had those dreams where like the walls seemed to be like breathing and moving a little bit?
Yeah, and there's like a creepy lady.
Yeah. So sans creepy lady, which if you listen to the Becoming Mighty Morphin podcast, you'll hear more about. This hallway seems like it is longer than it should be. Like the physical space of this hallway definitely extends further than it should.
Did any of the other group follow us into the hallway?
I don't know. Did anyone follow you, or are you like, who's this guy? What is he talking about?
I'll follow him.
Why not?
I'd be like, who is this guy? And then when I'm the only person left, like, well, I might as well go.
So we get into
Ace, are you leaving the music on in the dish pit, or you're like you making it louder or anything like that?
Remotely turn it up.
You remotely turn it up. It's fabulous. I'll give you a story point for remotely using metal music as your form of love language. Yeah, so I mean, Jester, Eddie, they followed you, which great. But Philip, didn't notice that the lights are flickering, but the longer you're there, the more you're like, this was a lot more cheerful earlier in the day. Like even like 10 minutes ago, it was more cheerful than it is now. It's kind of like scary movie-ish now, the way the lights are flickering. And Jane, you had other dreams that didn't involve hallways and rooms being really big, but I mean, yeah, something is not right.
So I vote if we see anything written in blood, we leave the building immediately, right? That we agree?
No, we should definitely stand in front of every closed closet and wonder what the noise is and never move, because that's how you stay alive.
Well, I vote we find whoever's in trouble and help them.
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So the screaming is now no longer screaming. Now it's just sobbing, but it's like echoing sobbing.
It's the girl I trained.
It is not the girl you trained. I'm not even going to make you roll for that. It is not the same person. That doesn't help you locate the sound, though, unless someone can think of a role for locating sound, or someone would like to do something here on the ground floor, a la Clue.
Is there anyone here that's quite alert?
How about musical performing arts to analyze the acoustics of the building?
Give me
or
that.
Technology, roadie, music engineering.
I'll give you performance for that because that is a real thing that people learn. And music is how to tell where echoes are coming from.
Is it just difficulty 10?
Yeah, just leave the diff at 10, and then I'll tell you
Okay.
if you meet or don't meet it. Because it's.
I didn't meet it.
Well, the sobbing is not any less terrifying than the screaming. I don't know how terrified you get of things, but the screaming actually sounded more comforting. Now it's just like sobbing. Now it's getting a little Shakespearean Macbethian in here. But you are just standing. You could choose to exit. You could choose to go to the courtyard. You could choose to go down the hallway. You could choose to go back and take all the dino nugs while everyone's out of the building.
I point to the exit and say it's coming from over there. Because
can I do an alertness roll?
You can always do an alertness roll and tell me what alertness what are you looking for?
I'm trying to see if I can gauge where the sound is coming from.
Great, give me that alertness roll.
A 13.
A 13 alertness roll. If it's not coming from the first floor, it's doing a great impression of coming from the second floor. It could maybe be out in the courtyard, but it's probably not. Although you did have an experience where you thought something was happening in the courtyard earlier and nobody was there.
Is there a window to the courtyard from where we are? Could I go?
There will be if you open the middle door down the hallway, because there are 3 doors on the right, one of which has a window, and there are 2 doors on. No, there are. Sorry, I'm left-handed, so this is so you have 3 doors on the left and 2 doors on the right, and the middle door on the left will have a window in that room, and then the 2 doors on the right will have windows that face the parking lot where people have congregated.
Can I open the door that leads to the window out to the courtyard?
I want you to give me a culture roll.
Okay.
Let's see if you make it. Actually, I want you to give me a persuasion roll. And this persuasion is you're persuading yourself to keep walking down this hallway that may or may not have been transformed by evil energy.
As she walks around, make sure that I'm staying near her.
14.
That's a 14. Okay. So, good news. You have all kinds of You have all kinds of courage, which is great. The second you go to open the door, it just opens because the doors aren't supposed to be locked. It's a fire hazard when the place is open, so that's not a problem. Your coin thing, as you express courage, kind of sparks off yellow electricity for a moment, but it doesn't hurt. It looks kind of cool. Ace, if you happen to see that, it was very metal. And you end up getting some kind of, well, it's a belt buckle, is the best, but it looks like what Eddie and Jane have. I don't know what else to call it, but a morpher. Whatever they've told you, whatever you saw the belt buckle from Eddie, it looks like you've got a belt buckle now that you didn't have this morning.
I'm gonna casually say over more for Jane than anyone else and say, "Hey, yellow."
I wonder what colors they are.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll
I'm
find
black.
out.
He says emphatically.
Well, this is going to get awkward.
Whoa.
Not prepared for that at all.
So, anyways, the door that you open, the middle door and the left side of the hallway, is a gymnastics tumbling room for younger teens, and sometimes they have like kindergartners come in. So, Eddie, you're a little traumatized because you had to like fill this room wall to wall this morning. And it's just like saturations of red, blue, and yellow colors and things that give me an acrobatics roll to see if you trip over something. Because the universe is still paying attention from your uneven bars crack earlier.
Wow, make one bad joke and you're paying for it.
Forever.
I'm just jealous that I didn't think of it myself. That's all it is.
That makes me feel better. And that makes me feel pretty good too. I rolled an 18.
So there are these really great tumbling things that are triangles. You just kind of surf over one to make yourself feel better. Because you're on vacation, and Zordon gave you a warning, but Zordon says a lot of things. And knowingly, most of them don't make sense until after the fact, and sometimes not even then. But yeah, so there's a window to the courtyard. Nothing is happening in the courtyard, and you're just in this room with all this like tumbling equipment. Eddie, in the closet there's like a low-hanging thing for people that want to do like tightrope walking, but yeah, empty.
Long story short, no one's in the room though. Yeah, so
nobody is in the room that you can tell.
Wonderfully cryptic. So with that, that's one place down. Let's go to the next room and see if we can find where that sobbing is coming from.
So how do you are you all in the room?
Well, I was following to get the names right. I was following Leia because I didn't want her getting too separated from the group or away from someone in case something happened. So I was following her to that room.
Yeah, I was in the hall outside of the room.
Hall. Ace or Philip, did you follow like little ducklings, or are you still just hanging out?
I mean, I was gonna say I was gonna follow, but then you called me a little duckling, and now I kind of don't want to.
Okay.
Well,
no, yeah, no,
I'm completely convinced the sound is coming from the front entrance.
Great.
I don't know where they're going.
So here's the question it boils down to. Leia, are you alone in the room? Do you let Eddie leave first, or do you leave first?
I wasn't going to stay. I mean, the idea is that I was going to scan the room to see if there was somebody in there that was sobbing, and then
Great, but so Eddie, did you step out of the room even a moment before Leia did?
Probably.
Great. So the door closes behind you, Leia, and
why did you have to say yes?
Yeah. So the door closes behind you, Leia. It doesn't lock because it can't lock, but it is magically locked, and kind of behind one of the triangle tumbling things that Eddie did not notice, they're gray.
Mm-hmm.
And they look like a person, but they're not a person because they're making like a noise that's a cross between what an owl and a jellyfish sound like. And there's a putty patrol in this room with you. You are.
How many?
Just one.
Oh, okay.
But bear in mind, unless you're from Angel Grove, this is maybe the first time you're seeing one up close.
Yeah, you're right.
And Eddie is on the other side of a door that just magically closed with Jane right next to it. So, yeah.
I mean, she's gonna try to open the door, obviously, but if it's magically done, then she's. How close is this thing?
It's not a very big room, so like if we were to do initiative combat, it would take maybe one turn to get to you.
Okay.
But the windows aren't locked either, so it doesn't have to stay in the room necessarily.
Are you okay, Leah?
Yeah, so, no, I don't know. Maybe.
Jane, you hear the noise.
Oh, Eddie, we got to get in there.
Yeah, we do. So, Leia, just whatever you do, don't worry too much. They're mostly made of clay. They're not that bad. Just don't let them hug you.
Hug me.
Yeah, don't let it hug you.
Why would I let it hug me? I don't want a hug from this thing I've never seen before. This seems like a bad idea.
Give me a might roll, Leia.
Yeah.
Because you've given the putty the idea, so the putty is going to attempt to hug you.
Going to attempt to hug me. Fantastic. Love this journey for me.
I'm doing a really good job.
11.
11. I'm gonna give that to you because this is like a new putty. This is like a new thing for it, so it's not trying very hard. But like, what's weird is that a putty breathes, but it doesn't breathe anything out. So it's like making the motions of doing human things, but there's no like breath on your face. It's just like undulating, which is just a fun word to say.
I'm gonna like take my. I'm gonna like do the thing where you like hit with the butt of your hand.
Great.
This thing right here, and just kind of like try to get it away from me.
Give me a might roll because your hands are blunt weapons in this game. So that will be a might roll.
Another 11.
That's an 11. You push it back a little bit, but that's more to the gym mat than your experience. Now, I don't want to give you too much of an idea, but Jane and Eddie kind of knew things, and so they might be able to help you figure out how to deal with this potentially.
Sure. She's just gonna be like.
You could ask the other two people down the hall. You could just like yell. The walls aren't very thick. The other people could probably hear you.
Fair, but they know what they're talking about. So
yeah, they do. They are experts, or at least a little bit. I mean, you don't know the extent of it, but
we pretend.
Yeah.
She or that she can yell herself up to the wall. Like, so what's the best way for me to take care of this thing other than just avoiding it?
Build it.
With what? There's no government issued or Ernie's juice. Issue me pistol.
No. Ernie's Juice Bar does not issue weaponry. They issue Hawaiian shirts.
Yeah,
not that kind of juice bar.
And unfortunately, this Hawaiian shirt was not equipped with a stun gun. So
hit it with an orange.
I'm in the gym. How many oranges are in the gym?
Technically, you're in a classroom.
Okay. Is there an orange in the classroom?
There's no oranges in this classroom. That's silly. There's tumbling equipment in here. Why would there be an orange?
Use a medicine ball. It's a gymnastics room.
That's fair. Okay. Is there a medicine ball or a
You could try using one of the triangles. They're not very heavy.
Okay.
If you want to do that, give me a brawn to see if how high you get it up and kind of how much you throw it at the thing. Give me a brawn roll.
Okay.
Now, the question to the Panabon there, is there a logical path from where we are to like into the windows from the outside of that room, or?
Yeah, you could try to run around to get to the courtyard. Like nothing is locked that you know of. I mean, this door is, and maybe other doors, but the path to the courtyard is not locked.
14.
14. Yeah, you pick up. It's not as heavy as you thought it was, and you just kind of beam the putty it doesn't go down, but you've got it kind of across the room. It's no longer like in your face, alien style, which is good.
Well, that's good. So can I just kick it in its face?
You can kick it in its face. I don't have a problem with that. Kicking is going to be acrobatics.
Jane, I'm gonna go try to find a way in through the courtyard.
Okay. Are you gonna? Should
15.
we? You know.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but I wasn't too certain. We
I mean,
probably should.
they have coins, so it's not like it's gonna be a big,
Yeah.
So as you're discussing this with the 15, you hear what sounds like a crash because Katie, you just kicked this thing out through an open window into the courtyard. It's not dead because it's a clay person, but at least it's not in the room with you anymore. And now that it's no longer in the room, the door does unlock. But now there's a putty in the courtyard. But the door's no longer locked, so that's not.
Oh, the door's not locked anymore?
No, it's in the courtyard now. So now the door to the courtyard is locked because now it's in a different space.
Yeah. So she's
What
gonna unlock,
is this
open
thing?
the door and be like, "Come with me."
You got it open. Where's the
don't know
putty?
how. It's out there, and she points to the through the window to the courtyard. It's
What?
outside.
Why'd you go outside?
It's nice out.
I mean, I kicked it through a window. I don't know what else to tell you. Like I didn't know what to do, so I kicked it in space and it went flying out through the window. And I'm not really sure how because like I do have some martial arts training, but like I'm not that strong.
I'm gonna look
That was a
over
good
at
idea.
Jane again, be like, yeah, yellow.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. What does that
It means you
mean?
did good. You did good. Kicking it out the window was a great idea.
Great.
I look at Eddie, we need to get out there and take care of this before it hurts somebody.
Yeah, definitely. So with that, I'm gonna take the coin out and go Black Mastodon and attempt to morph.
I want you to give me a
Good words too.
culture roll to see how well your morph works as far from the command center. It's not a high difficulty.
Please roll. Yay! I rolled a 21.
So, yeah, so Leia, where Eddie was standing once, there is now someone in black power armor with a stylized helmet and a little holster at their side for their blade blaster.
Okay, so here's a question. Would I have like watched TV? Because like in the show, there were like people, they would show like TV spots, like news spots with the Rangers, like, or would I have no idea what is just standing in front of me?
I will say that you've seen the Rangers are a relatively new phenomenon, even in Angel Grove. So you've probably seen something in a newspaper on TV, but it was like a little blurb and it didn't really make sense. You've never seen one up close.
Sure.
Like the idea of the word putty even goes over your head because not even the news knows what to call them yet.
Okay.
But now you have someone standing in front of you that is in a black power armor with the helmet on. That's super cool looking.
I would also like to try to morph.
Give me a culture roll, Jane. And then after you morph, depending on how you do, we are going to go for a 5-minute break. 15? 15 is good enough, as they say in horseshoes. Give us your morphin time cry.
All right. I grab my coin, red T-Rex power, and then red shimmery smoke, and I'm in my power armor.
It's true. And Leia, you have witnessed this. In fact, because you're more kind of between the hallway and the classroom, Philip and Ace, you have also witnessed this. And we're going to find out your reactions. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we're going to come back in 5. All right, we are back, and we're having a more phenomenal time here at the second part of the Stream-A-Thon. Thank you for having a break with us because it's good for people to get water and to move around a bit. So Leia, Philip, and Ace, because you've all seen this at varying degrees with your eyeballs. Eddie and Jane just transformed and have suits on now that they're not Hawaiian shirt themed. Does anyone have any questions about these suits that they're wearing?
All right. What the hell is going on, and how do I get one?
And
Why
also,
are we playing dress up?
I don't think that's in your employee handbook. I don't think that was dress code.
Points to Leia, you're correct. Points to Philip, soon enough, and points to the other guy, not really plain.
Okay. Also, what? I have a lot of questions, but what's going on?
Putty's bad, us good.
No,
So
putty.
Inside these suits, we go punch some putties.
What is a putty?
That thing that you kick through a window.
So how do we get one of these suit dealies?
Well, you got the coin. The next part, it's going to sound cheesy, I know, but bear with me. You got the coin. The next part is you believe in yourself.
I mean, I just kicked it through a window. I feel pretty good about myself right now.
Right? And pick up your coin.
Yeah, yours. We saw the spark from yours, so.
And this bear thing that's on, it's got teeth. Don't know bears that have teeth.
Most bears have teeth.
Give me a culture roll, Leia. Give me a culture roll.
Okay. All right, let's see. Culture roll. Oh my god, I love that my specialization is anthropology. I forgot I did that. It's a 20.
Yeah. It doesn't really matter that this bear has teeth because there's a lot of things that don't make sense. But more importantly, if you can do things like kick a putty without a suit like these two, imagine what you could do with a suit.
Get one.
I mean, so here's the thing. When we do this, when you roll that culture roll, that's about your intuition and the morphin grid itself. It's about what's in your very heart. Because at your very heart, you were chosen to be a yellow ranger. You were chosen specifically by the yellow bear. And so what this means for you is that you are aligned with this color of the morphin grid. And in your heart of heart, you know exactly the thing to say to do this for yourself. And so, Leia Mackenzie, it is morphin time. So hold out your medallion and shout out whatever the thing in your heart is to become the Yellow Bear Ranger of Stone Canyon.
Join us.
Maybe you didn't hear Jane say join us. A whispery cult voice, though.
I guess I just hold it up and say, I don't even know what. Go Yellow Bear? I don't know. I'm very confused. Just confused.
So go Yellow Bear works. So the way that I describe this is the best. This is akin to the feeling of the best day you ever had, where everything at that moment in your life was at peace. It is a memory. It is past. It is present. It is future. It's the morphin grid, and you feel this suit encase your body, but it doesn't. It's not fear that grips you. It's joy. It's power, and it's a really cool helmet that makes your head look like a bear. And you can look at yourself in the reflection of the windows in the courtyard, but you are in a yellow suit with white diamonds with that emblem in the center of it, and you have a little holster of all of your own. The holster is a little white thing on the belt, and it holds what is affectionately referred to as the blade blaster, which you haven't used yet. So it's not in the holster, but you have a holster for it.
Oh, I have a holster, but nothing in the holster. Okay.
Nothing in the holster yet. You have to need it for it to come.
Okay, so she just kind of like, you can't see her face because it's in a helmet, but she's just beaming. She's so excited.
At that point, there is a scream and a sob coming from down the hallway,
All
suddenly
right.
on this floor.
So the joy is short-lived, but
There could be more joy. Ace, give me that performance roll again.
Performance roll.
Yep, that's 17, Ace. It is not by the exit door. The sound is coming from the other end of the hallway that is longer than it should be.
Start running down the hallway.
As you run down the hallway, Jane and Eddie, give me an alertness roll as Ace runs down the hallway.
Jane got
20.
17.
Okay, so Eddie, you notice this because you're just closer angle-wise, but as Ace is running down the hallway, he's leaving a trail of green sparks in his wake.
Yeah, it's gonna hold. Hey, Green! Come on, let's go, guys. Winnie the Pooh, you're with us.
we're gonna talk. We'll talk about that later. And she follows.
Great. You see, Leia, you see the green sparks, but you don't know what it means, unless you'd like to roll to try to figure it out. But
Sure, why not?
yeah.
What would you ask me to roll?
Give me a culture roll. Everything with grid lore is going to be a culture roll. So give me a culture roll.
$12.
12. It's not rocket science. There were yellow sparks on you, and now there's green sparks. Of course, you didn't have them on half of your body running like you're in a Xanadu music video, but you know what? It got you there in the end. So it's just different I guess it's different for every person. Is the conclusion you come to. Ace, you may not notice this right away because you are running and there is screaming, but you have a belt buckle on you now that you did not have if you were already wearing a belt buckle with some sort of music insignia on it. I will give you the ability to have a belt buckle on your wrist because that is the other way it's worn.
I'll go with wrist because he's got his chain link belt buckle with all his band things hanging off of it.
Your wrist gets a little heavy. Not too heavy, not like it's weighing you down and you're gonna fall, but something is on your wrist that was not there before. And when you look down, there's a black buckle just as you come before the door at the end of the hallway. And at the end of the hallway, there is a locked door, but it definitely has a weird lock on it. It has a ye old Christmas Carol brass handled lock on it that does not fit in this building and should not be in this building. And you don't even have to roll for that. You just know this is wrong. And Philip, are you running to catch up? Is everyone running to catch up with Ace, who is
Eddie was
down the hallway?
Definitely run after Ace.
If you've gone after Ace, give me a culture roll to see how wrong you notice this door lock to be.
Eddie got a 14, Philip got a 20, Jane got a 12.
It's wrong and you hate it. Philip, you hate it more than anybody else. Something inside of you is just revulsed by this lock, and you would do anything to have it be anywhere than where it currently is.
The lock?
The lock itself. It's letting off bad energy. This is there's a reason there are people screaming on the other side of this door, and this lock is in the way. And I want you to give me a culture roll, Philip. Is that the same cultural
16.
learning? 16. As you were thinking about this and the idea of what should be and the idea of kind of what should not be expressly, your sense of justice comes up from your soul into your heart, and you spark blue as your belt buckle finds purchase on your belt and or your wrist, depending upon if you wore a belt particularly
Uh,
today.
he didn't wear a belt, so yeah, I'll take a belt buckle.
Okay. Then I'm going to take GM prerogative and say all Stone Canyon Rangers, unless you've otherwise stated and it's very big in your personality, you're going to have wrist buckle morphers instead of belt buckle morphers. Just as like
Okay,
a uniform fun thing.
Okay, so we all have wrists then?
Well, yes, you have wrists because you're humans, generally speaking. So yes, but also wrist buckle morphers. Yes.
Yeah, when he sparks up, I'm gonna look back at Jane like excitedly say, "Hey, blue!"
If I were green, I would die. If I were green,
okay, so there is screaming, there is sobbing, there is a cartoon bronze ye old lock that is on the store. One Stone Canyon Ranger has been revealed. Two others were sparking, but now the spark has settled down and they just have buckler morphers. What would you all like to do?
Kick the door in.
You can try to kick that door in. Give me might, because we'll say your foot in this case is a blunt weapon, and it's not really acrobatic.
And it's not grappling, correct?
It is not grappling. You cannot grapple with the door. But it is a might because it's a blunt weapon.
All right. 15.
You fall back. Because you tried to kick it with all your force, and it doesn't push you, but like the momentum that you kick it with, you fall on your butt.
Okay.
Anybody got the key?
Is it locked? Did I miss that part?
I don't know. I didn't try the lock. I just tried to kick it in.
Can we try opening the door?
Try the lock. Give me an infiltration.
That always works in the movies. I don't understand.
This can sound weird coming from someone wearing one of these, but this isn't the movies.
20.
So you try the door to see if it'll just open. You get shocked with scarlet, like a scarlet electricity. This is not Jane's red. This is like scarlet and gold. And Jane, I'm not even gonna make you roll for this. Those are the colors on Rita's dress.
Look at Eddie. Rita.
Who's Rita?
Yeah.
Rita Repulsa.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, that doesn't tell me anything.
She's evil.
I mean,
we're trying to stop her.
After 5,000 years, she's free.
You don't know that because they don't have a theme song in this universe. I appreciate that, but no. Rita's only known essentially by the people of Stone Canyon by the henchmen she set down. They don't really know the Rangers. They don't know Rita very well. So you may have to explain more, but let's just say Rita's bad. You heard that Rita's bad. You figure you're a good guy because you're wearing a power suit and the door didn't like you. So there has to be a way in this room. But it doesn't involve trying to unlock the door or kick it down.
Is there a key anywhere?
Is there a key anywhere? I want you to give me a technology roll.
Okay. Well, that's not going to do any good. Is a 3? Is a critical.
That's 3.
Yes.
I mean, there could be a key. Like you could run around the building, but there are like people screaming on the other side of the door. And there's some crying going on, and the thing like sparked electricity at you in a non-natural electricity-based color. So maybe not a key.
Well, they have guns, right?
Can
Can
I
we call a
was gonna say-
manager?
I am a manager.
Well,
Not
you
the
got
first.
keys then.
Not that. Not this key. They gave me enough keys from my area for the second floor. I don't have any keys down here.
Can I try to shoot the doorknob with my blaster?
What is your blade blaster? What do you use for that? Yes, if you use your finesse and Leia, you see that Jane summons the blade blaster that was not in the holster, but now is in her hand, but definitely fits in that holster. And give me a finesse roll to see if you can shoot at the lock, Jane.
Is it? I wouldn't use targeting for it.
No, because you're super close.
Okay,
Unless
that
you're
works
gonna,
because
like, back up down the hallway and try to shoot it from down the hallway. But
no,
like,
that's fine. I have more points in finesse anyway. I just wanted to make sure. I got a 21.
but it does not break. But it did more than the other two things that people tried.
Did it look like progress?
I will give that to you. It does look like progress.
I'm gonna ask it a good question.
We could just ask nicely.
If you want to call forth your power axe, because there are new rangers and you are technically training them, you should summon your power axe how you would summon it in the game.
Second, the Sonic upgrade, is that available for it or no?
Were we still working on your Sonic upgrade?
We might have been. I don't recall, to be clear. But
you still have your base power weapon, so I'll just say that Leia, Philip, and Ace, you see amongst other things that Eddie Thatch, the Black Ranger, has summoned a axe to their hand. It gives you Elden Ring vibes.
Yeah, so
futuristic axe vibes because it's Elden Ring themed.
yeah, roll your eyes. Thank you.
That was I had glitter in the corner of my eye.
Okay.
Yeah. But it is Elden Ring thing, so it is a ye old.
Yeah, so it's like a long cap axe, and the shaft itself is bent at one point, and like some of the edges of the axe head itself are like dented or dinted. But otherwise, it's a big honking, kind of weird looking stylized thing.
If your whatever your power weapon is, I think it's a might to use yours, isn't it?
Yes, might.
You might then swing that axe with a might roll, please.
Got a 10.
10. I'm going to say you were in close quarters and you were a little nervous about hitting someone else, especially one of the newbies. So you don't bring it down with as much force. It does find purchase. It works about as well as Jane's does. It seems like in order to get rid of this lock, teamwork might be involved.
I'm going to look over at Leia. What do you think you got?
I mean, I have a holster.
That's a good start. Like, what do you feel should it be there?
I mean, typically the things that go in holsters are guns, or usually guns. So, like the thing that she had, maybe?
Yeah. I want you to give me a culture roll, Leia, to see if you are able to summon something to your hand. And this is the only time you'll have to do this. You won't have to do this again. But the first time's always the hardest time. You got a 7. You try, and it kind of like half forms, but you're still hesitating a little bit because I mean, it does seem a little. Not silly is not the word, but it does seem like you could just maybe I can kick the door. Maybe you just weren't like believing in it hard enough, but like it phases in and out. But you tried, so that's the important thing.
Hey, still,
sure it's a gun.
Grab your coins, guys. So we got to try to do this together.
Yeah.
All right. So Philip grabs his coin. All right. So I just put it in this buckle.
Actually, you kind of like hold it in your hand, and the rest of it just kind of improvise. Really crappy explanation, I know, but it's really the best I got.
Yeah, you just kind of feel like whatever feels right.
Whatever
I don't get
feels
it.
right. So
But I'll
Ace
try
will.
as I might. And then so he just shoves his coin into the air and then gets the blue stuff. I don't like how.
All right, so Philip, I'm gonna have you roll culture to see how well that goes for you, and then Ace, as Philip is rolling culture, what are you going to do to try?
He's just gonna smirk at the people in the costume and like flip his coin like he's flipping a coin, catch it and go, "What's more metal than a dragon?"
All right, I love that. Give me a culture roll, Philip. What's the best day you ever had?
What's the best day I've ever had?
Yeah, like it just like there's a memory inside of you of like where you, most confident, the best version of yourself without any of the voices telling you to doubt yourself.
Philip is just. Oh no, that's rough. So like it's just the best day of his life is he is just chilling with his family, just no, he didn't have any kind of crazy BS going on in the background, and he is just calm and resolute, just watching TV and eating with his family.
And family is enough. Not all Blue Rangers are about the intelligence. Some of them are about community. Some of them are about curiosity. It's not uncommon for a Blue Ranger to be uncommonly intelligent or intuitive to their emotions. And that belief in community and family is enough. You feel that same sense of serenity as you are enrobed by this blue mist energy. And when the mist settles off of you, you are wearing the blue Triceratops. You are the blue Triceratops Ranger of Stone Canyon.
Awesome.
And then Ace, how did your culture roll go?
Well, I was gonna. Am I able to use psychology for this or no?
Because it is grid lore, I always have it be culture for this.
Well, I have a specialization in psychology under culture.
Oh yeah, then you use your specialization for that. Yeah, because like you have to like give into this. Like this is you doing like a metal music video. This is great.
19.
19 with 19 because we talked about this earlier and you requested it. As you say, what's cool? What's more metal than a dragon? What's cooler than a dragon? What did you say?
What's more metal than a dragon?
What's more metal than a dragon? You get it. Like, and maybe it's just because you're a musician and like you just have a heartbeat for like things that are just like kind of weird and out there. But it's like playing a symphony for you. Anyone watching how he transforms, assuming your character is he, him, I didn't actually ask pronouns, so I apologize for that. But when you watch Ace transform, it's actually less chaotic than any other ranger you've seen do this for the first time. There's something very structured to the way he does it. And when Ace has finished his transformation and like the green energy clears, he's wearing like a long cloak coat thing that is more than what other rangers get. Because as a green ranger, he is sort of rebellious and different and tuned differently to the morphin grid slightly. And so with that 19, you don't just morph, but you also get your wish to have a
jacket,
coat, cloak, jacket thing. Yes.
Yeah, he'll look around.
Okay, that's damn cool.
Pop his collar and go, "What'd you guys do wrong?"
I want you to actually give me a finesse roll, Ace, and see if you can summon your Blade Blaster.
Steady action? No. Yes.
Yes, use steady action for that. That's
Okay.
fine.
No. Well, can I use a story point on that?
I'll let you use a story point for that because this could be pivotal for your character. So go ahead and use your story point for the scene.
Where'd it go? toughness. Yes.
Got an
11.
11. It's a little messier, a little more tentative because it's not fantastical. It's very practical based, and it looks like everybody else's Blade Blaster. Um, but it works. You have this solid thing in your hand, and you intuitively know, Ace, that it has this blaster setting that's a ranged weapon, but it also has a blade setting where it can turn into a dagger. And so, depending upon how you want to approach this lock, you could shoot at it or you could slash at it.
Strength 2. Okay. He's gonna look at the Black Ranger and go, "What is this about working together?" And then slash out at the lock.
Great. I'm not going to have you roll for that. You're just going to slash at it, leaving a streak of green energy behind. And you take off, and there's not quite half of the lock remaining, but half of it is gone. The door is like wiggling a little bit. So it's almost there. It seems like there are 2 other rangers in the room, and if they can figure out a way to do something about this lock, you'll have easy access to the room, in which you can hear sobbing behind the door.
Yeah, awesome, Ace. Now, Philip, Leia, your turn. Let's see what you got.
And, Philip is going to look around the room, and he is going to look for the longest object in the room, which would I assume what his axe or whatever. And then it's like we could just use a lever, and then shove it in the door, and then like kick the bar or whatever we wedge in there to force the door open.
Do you have a lever handy on you?
I believe he was referring to the handle of my axe.
I mean,
No.
if you want to allow that to happen, I won't say no. I am intrigued by the idea, but it's your power axe, so it's your decision.
I'm all for it. I'm curious to see where it goes.
Alrighty.
All right.
So just go ahead and wedge it in there.
Give me a technology roll to see if this lever action will be successful. What did you get? You got a 12. It doesn't stay successful, but it's successful enough that you knock a part of this brass handle off. As you knock your part of this brass handle off, it hisses and disappears in black smoke. So there's only one part left on here, and it needs to be dealt with. But the room is almost open to you. You can hear putties on the other side of this door, along with the sobbing.
Hey, Leia, how about you show us that kick?
I can certainly do that. I mean, it shocked me last time, but it might have just been the door handle. So yeah, I'm happy to try.
If you would like to kick, give me. I'm gonna have you do acrobatics for this kick, because it's a little higher as a lock than it would be.
Okay. 18.
18. You really want this to work. You really don't want a recap of trying to make the Blade Blaster happen. So when you kick, you do it so with all of your willpower, to borrow a Green Lantern phrase. And your leg kind of has a little bit of yellow lightning attached to it, and you kick, and the last piece of the lock flies off, and it bursts into black smoke, and the door opens. And before I explain what's behind the door, a reminder: we're having a giveaway during this stream from Pure Alchemy, an exclusive Dire Gelatinous Cube Jelly Soap. If you're curious, you'll win something that is going to Kickstarter on August 30th, which we'll have more details about. But basically, If you love the idea of your dice trapped in a gelatinous cube, but that you can use as soap, you're going to love it. You can enter to win it by using the hashtag RemPC for one entry in the chat. Give us 100 bits for one entry, also in the chat, or subscribe to our channel for 7 entries. And you want to subscribe because it's not just a Stream-A-Thon. We have stuff going all the time, and that'll give you 7 entries into this giveaway. And we also have a GoFundMe that we have a link for, hopefully, in the comments. And if you give to the GoFundMe and you put your Twitch handle in, you get an entry for every dollar you give us, which is great because it helps keep Realm Alternus doing the things it does. But make sure you give your Twitch handle, or we won't know who to give the credit to for the entry. And thank you for everyone who has already entered. It's very exciting, and a whole bunch of us are curious to see who's going to win and very excited about who's going to win. So, Philip, you remember those girls earlier that were giving you like the Scooby-Doo Hex Girls vibe? The one that didn't have a shadow?
Yeah.
Would you like to guess who's currently in the room right now?
Those individuals?
Yes, they are in the back of the room, clutching to each other and sobbing as they are surrounded by 5 putties. There is a giant candle in the middle of the room that is very tall and very lit and is magenta and black and gold, and just bad energy all around. There are 5 putties in the room, circled around the girls. They are not paying any attention to you, so we are going to have a roll for initiative, and they're going to be surprised. So everyone roll me initiative. If your character sheet breaks and it doesn't give you the option to use the initiative roll, then just roll me a d20 and tell me what you got.
Initiative never works for me.
Yeah, so just
Never,
roll
ever.
me a d20 plus whatever your initiative thing is if you got that.
Eddie got a 17.
Eddie got a 17.
I got a 9.
It auto snagged for me. It
Aim
clicked,
got a 9.
it hit
So-
snag, and then it wouldn't let me.
So I got a 19 plus, I'm not sure. Initiative, oh. I don't know.
There we
Yeah,
go.
if base initiative is fine. So that's 19 for Leia. And what do we have? 13,
I got a 17.
17 from Ace. Now for Leia, Philip, and Ace, I will have you know as we enter combat, each of you as a ranger has extra special stuff you have. If you look down in your weapons, I tried to make sure it was there, and I will explain it as you ask about it. But you should all have special things you could use. Actually, I think what I did for this was I put them in your thing, but then for Chris, for Philip, I think I actually also put them in that first spoiler I gave you in Discord, and I forgot to tell you to look at it so you can study it. But that first spoiler, you have the first one, not the second one, not the most recent one, but the first one should have all of the stuff the Blue Ranger can do.
Alrighty.
I
So-
don't have anything in my weapons or armor or
Don't have-
inventory.
Anything in your weapons? Did I send you a spoiler? I may have sent you a spoiler.
You did, and you
Okay.
told me not to look at it until you told me to.
Great. Now's the time to look at that spoiler if I sent that to you. Probably did. Yes. So yeah, did I send one to you as well, Katie?
Yeah.
I did. Okay, so we're gonna go this way. So Philip, I want you to open your first spoiler, not the second one for the Christmas stream coming up, but the first one, and I want you to read what your Blue Ranger can do. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it says your PowerPoint has emblem of the blue Ceratops. Once transformed, your strength by your power armor increases your smart skill checks through the use of Eureka. You may use a PowerPoint to give yourself edge to all smart skill checks. You have the ability to use Helping Hand, sacrificing a personal power to give one team member within 60 feet 1 health. You are also becoming fluent in grid speak. One more when morphed, gain an edge to any language deciphering skill check, or use the aptitude augmenter and choose one skill check that I may roll one or two results on. But you can only choose one skill, and it cannot be changed. Your current weapon is the Blade Blaster, which allows me to slash an opponent for 1 point of damage, or fire it as an energy weapon.
Fabulous. And I can answer questions about that as we go through. Leia, as the Yellow Ranger, would you like to read your spoiler, please?
Sure. You are the Yellow Bear Ranger. Along with the +1 toughness you get from being morphed in your power armor and your Blade Blaster weapon, which can be used as a close to your enemy dagger or a ranged blaster depending on how you declare its use. You've also been granted the gifts of the Yellow Ranger. The triple strike attack gives you a bonus attack after using a martial arts skill check without penalty. Nimble Fighter allows you to automatically move 5 feet away from a creature after a successful attack, and if you wish to use as a personal PowerPoint, you may also use a strike bonus and dice shift up your first melee in an action combat scene.
Yes. And that's a lot of words. So I'll tell you, if you want to use that, just let me know what you want to try, and I'll let you know how that works. And you should have one for Ace for the Green Ranger. What is the Green Dragon Ranger got going on?
You have been gifted the power of the Green Dragon. Once transformed, your power armor allows you to make a solo strike, rolling a d4 and hitting the declared roll. You'll be able to use your targeting skill to hit one enemy with your Blade Blaster from 60 to 100 feet away instead of the usual range. Your special relationship with the Green Power Coin allows you to move like a song as well. The first attack on you in a combat round will automatically come with a snag. Your strength increases by 2 points. Your weapon of choice at this level is the Blade Blaster, which achieves 1 damage of sharp within reach, 1 damage of an energy blast when used as a ranged attack, and every fight you always win. There you go.
That last part was added in, but I appreciate the try. Good old college try. So basically what it boils down to is that now you are morphed, now we are in combat. Your toughness, which is the defense version of your strength, is going to go up +1. And this means is that, like, for instance, Philip, you currently have anything in there. Oh no, because it's in your so for the Blue Ranger, for Philip, your current toughness is 12. Your toughness when morphed is 13, so that's the number that the putties will have to hit at or above in order to do any damage to you, essentially. So your toughness has gone up +1. Everyone's toughness has gone up +1, unless you've got higher than the light armor, which you currently only have light armor, because this is your first day as a ranger. So we're going to go in order here, and we're just going to give this a try. Leia, you had the highest.
Well, actually, sorry. When my strength goes up, doesn't my toughness go up?
Your toughness goes up, yes, with your strength.
Because my power is my strength goes up by my smarts. So then, if I add my smarts to my strength, my toughness would also go up, but it not.
No, so the toughness of your armor just adds a +1 to your strength.
Okay, no bad.
Yes, that's the only the willpower, cleverness, and evasion are different things that I declare, but for the purposes of ranger in combat, especially with me, because I haven't done a lot of psychic damage type things, it's always going to be against a toughness. Especially with the putty, because they don't do psychic damage. They just try to kick you and hit you, essentially. Yes.
So mine would go up by 2 then?
Yours goes up by 2 if that's what I put in your thing. Yes. And then you have 2 more points you can spend while you're thinking about your turn. So
how do I make it go up by 2?
You should be able to edit your character sheet.
Oh, edit. Duh. Never mind.
Yeah. And then you get 2, and then you can just put those 2 points wherever you want. And you have the ability to do that. So, Leia, there are 3 girls huddled against a wall. There are 5 putties and 1 ominous-looking candle in the center of the room. What would you like to do as the first person? You rolled the highest initiative, so you're going to go first.
Have I manage to get my blaster at this point?
I'm gonna say because of the circumstances, I'm not gonna have you roll again. I'm just gonna say that you witnessed the scene. You were like, "This is not good," and you blade blaster into your hand. Yeah, your sense of righteousness and justice and sense of right made it happen.
So I'm gonna rush at the candle and try to cut it in half.
Okay. Give me, because it's not, the room's not big enough that your movement's going to be a problem. Give me a finesse for your blade blaster in blade form. Give me a finesse roll.
It's a 10, so it's a success. But
So the difficulty on the big candle is not 10. Difficulty is higher. So unfortunately, you don't even make a scratch on the candle.
Yeah, great.
But you were very brave, so it was really cool. Eddie and Ace, I did not notice you had the same initiative. So I'm going to have Eddie go first, just because you have more rangering experience. And to give Ace a moment. So yeah, we're going to have Eddie. We'll call you 17A. Eddie, that's what we'll do. So Eddie, you've just watched Leia enter the room. You've set the scene. What do you want to do?
I'm going to shout out it's hero time and charge after the closest putty and attack him with the axe.
All right, give me that axe roll. These are not going to be difficult putties, so.
Boop, 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 boop. Clicking buttons. I got an 18.
An 18. Great. You cleave one in half, and you nick another one on the way down, but one of them just dissolves into a pile of rubble, essentially. Which, if the screaming girls weren't crying and screaming right now, they'd probably appreciate. But they are very distraught. Because, like I said, it's some Angel Grove nonsense happening in Stone Canyon today. All right, so Ace, you just saw Eddie do a really cool move where he chopped a gray guy in half.
All right, just so I can get this down. Solo strike is just at someone who's by themselves, right?
I roll all the putties as one, but they're going to attack individually. So, yeah, we can say the putties are individuals if you want to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to move up to one of the other ones, and I am going to slash down at it with my blade blaster as a slashing weapon.
Great. Give me that finesse roll.
Finesse. Okay. Where am I? Oh, there I am.
And you need to get a 13 or higher to destroy the putty.
It's not letting me click anything.
Ooh. What is your finesse that you have? What is your specialization in finesse? Do you have that?
Finesse is a D6 with steady action.
Okay, so roll a D20 and a D6 because that's the same you've got going for that.
All right. I don't know why it's not letting me.
Is it in edit mode by chance?
Yeah, I was just going to ask that.
It shouldn't have been because I closed it out and reopened it. Oh, never mind. I don't know my numbers.
Would you like to try that again?
Yes. There. 14.
Okay. So you got a 24 on that because you got an 18 plus a 6.
Oh, it's an 18. Sorry, it was underneath the thing, so I couldn't see it.
Yeah. So you got a 24. So
that would be a critical hit, right? Because I rolled a 6 on the D6.
That is a critical hit, but it's only one putty that you're attacking. But it's really cool. You actually just like hit the putty in its back and just like turn like you're like a wind up toy box, and it just kind of dissolves at your feet. Is there anything you'd like to say with Eddie in earshot that sounds super cool as you've done this thing?
Try to keep up.
Great. Fabulous. I love the confidence. It makes me so happy. Philip, you are next.
Philip is going to summon his Blade Blaster, and then
Okay.
he's going to try to keep up. Even though he wasn't talking to him, he's gonna ride that wave.
What do you want a Blade Blaster? And also, do you want to use the blade or the blaster function?
The blade.
Okay, you want to use the blade. That's going to be a finesse roll. Are you blading a putty? Are you following Leia and trying to blade at the candle?
I will take on a putty.
You will take on a putty. Give me that finesse roll. You have to get a 13 or a higher. Get a 16, and the putty goes down. You actually get it like across the neck in like a vampire motion, which I don't know if you intended, but it was super cool. All right, and we have next will be Jane. Jane, it is your turn.
I have 2 questions for you.
I have 2 answers.
The first question is, can I summon my power weapon and attack, or do I have to? Is it just like I can summon it and then I can attack next time?
There's no mechanic for summon then attack. It's like your Blade Blaster. Once you've summoned it, you can use it automatically. I haven't found a different thing in the book that says otherwise. So yeah,
Okay.
There's no mechanic for summoning and then you have to wait to use it.
Okay.
Zords are different, but that's a whole different kettle of fish, and you don't have a Zord yet. So
Okay. My next question is, how many putties are left, and where are they? Are they like close together?
There are 2 putties, very close to each other, within 5 feet. They are allies. They are friends. They are scary.
Okay. So I'm gonna hold out my hands and I'm gonna call out Red Tyranno Grappler, and it appears in my hand. And I would like to use it. I want to swing it at their heads, but since it's long, if I swing it, can I try to hit both of them at the same time, or like?
Yeah, it has
an
definitely.
escape motion?
It has 3 times the reach of any other weapon in
Okay.
rangerdom. So you're gonna hit them unless they're 200 feet away.
Okay, then that is what I would like to do.
Dude, where do I get one of those?
I know, right?
Yeah, right. This is my first time seeing it.
Can I use a story point to reroll that?
You haven't
Because-
used the story point yet. This seems like a great time. The longer your ranger is, the more you train, the more you'll get your very own power weapon. But you have to start out with the Blade
Oh my
Blaster because everyone starts somewhere.
Can I give her my story point?
Grappler looks really cool. I, however, am distracted by everything that's going on, and there's crying, and the girls are worrying me, and I kind of stumble and miss everything.
And it's also you're not on an open field. This is a closed room with no windows, and there's a lot going on. There's a giant candle in the middle of the room that is apparently indestructible. So yeah, so it's not great. It doesn't look cool, but you have a great weapon. So maybe next time. There are 2 putties left. They're actually going to try to attack Leia because you didn't attack them, but you're closest to them. So they turn and see you.
Sure.
What is your toughness?
That's a question I don't have an answer to. Bear with
So
me for a minute.
where, if you look in your strength where your skills are, the toughness is right under that.
14.
Okay, so they have to get 14 or higher.
Okay.
So
No.
they got a 12, so they don't hit you. One of them actually hits the candle, which doesn't do anything. And the other one just kind of trips because you just move your foot at the last minute in a way.
Okay.
But that does mean they are in range because now we're at the top of the next round.
Okay.
and you could take your revenge upon these clay putty.
I shall be doing so, yes. So the one that tripped, is he on the ground?
Yes, he is prone.
Okay. So I'm just gonna like punch down and do the center of his chest.
Okay.
Actually,
punching
know what?
down?
No, I'm gonna punch down in the center of his face because it seems like face hits are a really good thing.
Okay. If you would like to hit in the face, please give me a might roll because that is a blunt weapon.
Yes.
And it does not change. You still need to get a 13 or higher in which to do
Okay.
this.
Oh, 17.
17 with the 17, I'm going to say that you actually were able to get both of them because the other one you got on the upswing of your elbow. Also, because we have half an hour left on the stream, and as you destroy the putty, unfortunately, does anyone want to talk to the girls before the next thing happens that's going to happen?
Are you okay?
Two of them are sobbing. One of them will go, we didn't know. We didn't know what it was.
You didn't know what was.
You just thought it was a book of spells. We were just trying to be witches.
Did you read from the book?
You never read from the book.
One of them motions to their bag. Jane or Eddie, when you take, they're giving you permission to look at their bag. Which one of you looks into the bag?
I will.
There is a piece of paper in the middle of this book. It is a handwritten yellow parchment spell, and you recognize the handwriting because it's some of the same handwriting you've seen in the books in the grid lore in the command center. It looks like a page that was ripped out of a book.
Where did you get this?
They don't have a chance to answer because the candle transforms now that you've touched the page because it felt the energy of the morphing grid, and now there is a giant sentient cartoon candle in the center of the room as the three girls run out sobbing but grateful to get out alive. And the candle says, the candle has a phrase, "I told Mistress Rita this would work." And there is now a giant sentient candle, which is not as metal as it sounds because it's like a big cartoon candle. So it's not like cool rock and roll candle. It's just goofy looking. But we're going to keep this initiative order. I'm going to say, Leia, you went because that was very cool. But Eddie, you've just learned some disturbing information, and now there's a giant sentient candle. What would you like to do?
Oh man, things just keep getting stranger, and then I'll just kind of like shrug my shoulders and then charge at the giant candle.
Great. What would you like? Are you bodying it? Are you going full brick and you're just going to body it?
No, I'm not going to do that. When you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So with axe, I will chop.
Okay, give me that power axe chop. You have to get a 17 or higher.
Seems easy enough.
It seemed
Did it
easy,
work?
but
No.
unfortunately, the candle has like candelabra arms. So now you've got like arms to deal with. So it's not like just one big candle just standing in the center of the room, and it moves out of the way of your power axe.
All right. Well, Ace, be our guest. It's your turn.
It's a candle pun. You're welcome, Sarah.
Sebastian.
I hope you're listening.
Sorry, my back hurt.
Ace, there's a giant sentient candle in the middle of the room from apparently a spell gone awry. That's not metal at all.
No, obviously reading is bad. Hey, Smokey the Bear, if I take it down, you need to put it out. And I'm going to run up and try to grapple it. Slam it down.
Sorry, is that me?
You're the only bear in the room.
You're the only bear around.
You're trying to grapple a fellow ranger?
No, I'm going to run up to the candle, grapple the candle, and throw it to the ground so Smokey the Bear can come put it out.
Oh, okay. I understand what you're trying to do now. So give me a might roll because that is how grappling is achieved in this game.
And I have the grappling specialization. And I can't do that. Yeah, no. I rolled a 4.
It's more wily
Or 6,
than you
sorry.
anticipated. Yeah, that 6. It actually, you don't get decked, but it swings one of its arms around in time, and you don't fall, but it's enough that you're like, oh, it's beefier. It's beefier than you thought it would be. Maybe a little too beefy.
This candle's a little waxy.
Candle is a little waxy. Wax on, wax off. Philip, giant sentient candle. What do you want to do?
He is going to try to bowl it over and help help Eddie get this, or help Ace get this thing on the ground.
All right, give me that might roll for grappling. $15. I'm going to give that to you because that's higher than its evasion, which is 12. So that 15, you get it down to the floor, which is good. And just because of the nature of time, Jane, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I am going to encourage you to use your power weapon special power.
I'm going to do that as soon as I remember what my power weapon special power is.
So Jane's power weapon, the grappler / man catcher, is a little different because it comes with a psychic attack essentially as part of its creation. It comes with it's not maneuver, it's manipulate. Basically, you can scare it off the field.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, that is what I would like to do.
So roll it like you're attacking, but I want you to psychologically torment this giant demonic candle that's
Squeeze his wick.
Tell it its mother never loved it.
It is. You said so. I'm rolling like an attack. So I'm rolling a finesse roll.
Yeah, roll like you would to. Roll like you would to use it as a weapon.
Oh my goodness, a 2.
It doesn't. It's a candle. It's not afraid of anything. It's an evil candle. It's not afraid.
You are hot. Is all I can come up with in the moment.
That's fabulous. Leia, I mean, the giant candle's on the floor.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Does it have a face that I can kick? Because I've been doing well with kicking faces.
It does have a face. If you'd like to kick it in the face, I will let you kick the giant demonic candle in the face. I have no problem with that.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kick it in its face.
That's great. Give me a might roll.
Okay. $21 is a critical success.
You kick it in the face. You kick down hard. This is silly. I'm going to take 2 points of damage away from it. So it's actually halfway down now because that was a mighty kick. Yes. And your teammates helped you because they held it pinned down so you could kick it in the face. Eddie, you felt the power of the kick from the Yellow Ranger. You're right there. What do you want to do?
I'm going to see if I can follow that up, at least in some similar vein, with the axe, as one does.
That's perfectly reasonable, as one does in such a scenario in which we live every day.
I only got 13, though. I don't think that cuts the mustard.
It doesn't cut the mustard for toughness, but it is evasion, so you do keep it pinned down, which keeps it from being able to attack because you've essentially got it grappled. So that was actually very helpful. Ace, the candle just got kicked in the face. That was very metal.
So I'm going to get up, run across the room, run back, and drop a flying elbow on its head.
Flying elbow on its head, I am going to say that is...
Basically just trying to hit it in the head.
Yes. I'm trying to figure out for hitting it in the head from a flying leap. I'm going to say that is acrobatics.
With maneuverability, since I'm doing a flying elbow.
Yes, with maneuverability. See how you do.
17 with a critical success.
A 17 with the 17 meets its toughness, so I'm going to give you that. And because you are the Green Ranger, and because you are the cool Rebel Ranger,
He's got that cloak.
with the jacket and cloak, I want you to describe what it is like as you come bouncing down on this giant demonic candle.
I come flying down. I yell in my best Macho Man Randy Savage voice, "Dig it," and then drop my elbow right on its wick and put its wick out.
Oh yeah.
You do indeed. You actually scatter its wick. It reforms into the big giant candle that it was. It no longer has life in it, but it is still a candle. It still physically exists. Whereas all the other villains that you faced, Jane and Eddie, that have disappeared or gone away, either back to the space mountain where Rita lives, or have just disappeared and crumbled nothing. This is still a physical candle. And there is a physical piece of paper with a physical spell on it.
I think we should take this stuff back to Fish Tank, bro.
Agreed.
Fish Tank, bro.
Head in the jar, kind of Futurama. It's weird, but oddly comforting at the same time. Anyway, it must be the guy's voice.
Jane, give me a technology roll. We're coming to the end of the stream here, so this is going to be wrapping things up.
6.
Because
My goodness.
we still have a drawing. You hear Alpha's voice for a fraction of a second, and the words "bad energy" come through, and then you don't hear Alpha's voice. You're just too far from the command center. And unfortunately, Alpha was only able to contact you, so no one else hears Alpha and their attempt to get in contact. It gives you a sense that you probably should get at least some of this to Zordon and Alpha, and maybe give a better explanation for Zordon as an interplanetary being than a man in a fish tank. But that's just... So what's going to happen is Stone Canyon is not like Angel Grove. Angel Grove is really used to this kind of thing, so everyone goes back to kind of business as usual. Ernie's Juice Bar shuts down for the rest of the week. I'm not going to make you roll. Demorphing is an easier process when there's nothing bad around. And you just have to find basically the side exit to get out to get back with everyone else. But it is up to you as well to explain kind of the 3 tenets of being a ranger to these new deputized rangers. Who would like to explain those tenets before we have our winning drawing?
If I may, I'd like to.
Sure.
All right. So you guys all did absolutely amazing. Dude, that cloak is awesome. Absolutely wonderful. So we got a few rules to go over, and this is also why we were being so oddly cryptic earlier when you guys were showing the coins and people were screaming. And
it's actually Zordon's influence. Zordon is like this a lot too. So.
Yeah. And so first, never use your power for personal gain. Second, never escalate a battle unless an enemy forces you to. And third, keep your identity as a Power Ranger a secret. Only reveal your identity to a fellow Power Ranger. Now, that last one's kind of the hardest one.
Okay. Yes, and so those are kind of, because I follow the old school Ranger rules, they've been laxed in some of the other generations of Ranger stuff. But those are the 3 basic tenets also found in the core rulebook. If you have enjoyed this one shot, which I hope everyone has, the Power Rangers RPG is available through Renegade Studios, and you'll be able to listen in onto the Becoming Mighty Morphin podcast, where Jane, Eddie, Brick, Quentin, and Cecily actually are able to be face-to-face with Zordon. You'll get to see more of this tonight. We have a Power Ranger Christmas-themed one-shot coming up, which we have several of the cast here joining for that. And it's going to be super cool. I want to give you a couple of seconds here to get your last minute entries in, a reminder about what you are potentially winning. This is the, I wrote it down and I scrolled too far. So let me see. So this is the exclusive Dyer Gelatinous Cube Jelly Soap. And if you haven't seen these pictures, it is a bar of jelly soap with some dice in it. And it's super beautiful green. It's kind of got that Goosebumps Nickelodeon slime green going to it in the best possible way. And if you win it, then you can get a second one when they have the Kickstarter on August 30th when that comes out. But basically, it's a super cool company with high quality products. If you've gotten soap from them, that they do this, it's like you get 3 soaps for like a character in your RPG kind of thing, right, Jane?
Mhm.
Like you get to pick like. So you could make a soap set for your favorite ranger character too and have that. I don't think they're going to turn you down until you know. So Pure Alchemy Soaps is the company, and it's super cool. And basically, remember, if you want to get your last minute entry in, it's hashtag RemPC. That'll give you 1 entry. If you give us 100 bits, which I don't actually know what that means, but I'm sure somebody does who's talked about it or done it, that'll give you 1 entry. Does anybody know what the bits are in relation for people that haven't used Twitch before? Does anyone know what that actually is? Did they just like write 100 bits into the chat? Does anyone actually know how the 100 bits things work? Because I don't.
I think you have to pay for them.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, it's essentially a Twitch resource that you pay money to obtain, and then you use that resource by providing it to whatever stream for whatever thing.
Okay, so 100 bits of that will get you an entry. If you subscribe to our channel, that's 7 entries, which should be pretty obvious how to do, hopefully. And then if you give to the GoFundMe, which hopefully, because I can't see it because I'm jamming, if you give to the GoFundMe, that the link is in the comments, you do get an entry per dollar. And that's going to be for the entire weekend. Don't forget to put your Twitch handle in, or we won't know who to give the entry to. And if you are curious about what is going on with the pages, that this page that was stuck in the witch's handbook that should not have been there. If you're curious about the putties and the kind of putties we face, Jane or Eddie, is there anything that you want to say about the podcast that you think is really cool that you want people to know about it? This is going to put you on the spot. Is what's going to happen.
Just listen when it's released. It's been a lot of fun to record. The whole cast is really amazing, and we've had a really, really good time becoming Power Rangers together. It's funny. It's a good time.
Definitely want to echo what Jane said regarding the cast. The group of people have been absolutely wonderful. I've been very happy to be able to play with them. One of the very, very cool things that Panabon here has done is none of us knew our morphine colors or anything like that prior to the actual game. He essentially kind of made that decision himself based on whatever process and magic that he does, and we role played out the sequence. So every little aspect of that was really cool. And in the first couple episodes, you'll get to share that with us.
Yeah, and it's a more phenomenal time for me. Part of this and part of what I love about Rangers and part of what Rem Alternus lets me love about doing this is the idea of ceremony is important to me. So for me, it was kind of a no-brainer, and that moment of discovery. And hopefully the Stone Canyon Rangers felt that too, in the specialness of kind of becoming your Ranger color, because that was important to me and important to how things happen. And we are vamping now because it's about time for that winner to be announced. And I'm just okay. Please join us, not just for the Stream-A-Thon, but if you're not a member of the Rem Alternus Discord, we would love to have you. The community is it's very vibrant. A lot of different people. You're going to see throughout the Stream-A-Thon the kind of different people that we have on stream and the different attitudes forward TTRPGs. But it's all about gaming and community. in a really fun way. They let me, make up my face and do GMing for Zordon, and I'm going to be a Sailor Moon character coming up in a few minutes here. And such an exciting community to be a part of because they put up with my nonsense, so they're definitely going to put up with yours.
No, give me that soap.
All right, so our winner for this round has happened to be our Stone Canyon Blue Triceratops Ranger, Chris, also known in our Discord server as Pinal, who you can hear on our fabulous Brutal Wrestling podcast, which is part of the Alternate Archives if you scroll all the way back. And also you're in Shadowrun on Tuesdays, I believe. Is that right, Chris?
Correct. I am.
And so does anyone have anything? We have a couple minutes left. Does anyone have anything they want to plug? Eric, would you like to talk about North Foundry? Because we do have a dice giveaway coming up.
Yeah, Norse Foundry for all your random number generating needs. We have metal, aluminum, all kinds of. We don't do plastic or resin or anything like that, but it's norsefoundry.com.
Yeah, thank you. I'm very excited because I don't know exactly what you're giving away. I do know what it is. I'm not going to say. People have to tune in. I'm very excited.
The best part is I don't know either because it's I have a random bag thing where I just reach in and it could be gemstone dice, it could be aluminum dice, it could be alloy dice, it could be I just have these bags of random dice that I use to give away. So
I've seen their displays when at conventions I've gone to. Their booth always has just absolutely brilliant looking material and dice and whatnot. It's really it's art. It's work of art.
Ooh, we have Jane showing Isabeth showing one. Katie, I heard that you're part of a Vampire the Masquerade San Antonio by Dark.
Night.
Did I get
By night.
By night.
So
so we have a couple minutes. Go for it.
So all of the Vampire the Masquerade streams you're going to hear, so LA by night, St. Pete by night, which is a whole big thing on TikTok, they're all by night. So ours is San Antonio by night. We stream every Friday night at 8:30 on Twitch, and our channel is called The Squirrels of Darkness. So that's new. It used to be
Is that Scrolls of Darkness or
squirrels, like because we all have
Darkness.
ADHD, so we're all ADHD squirrels. So it's twitch.tv/Squirrels of Darkness. And yeah, so we are at this point, we're almost a year into our campaign. It's very much a whodunit because most Vampire the Masquerade, they come in and they're already vampires and they already have their things. We came in, we were turned, we didn't know who turned us. So we were looking for our sires, and we finally found them. It's a whole big thing. And now we're trying to figure out who is trying to destabilize San Antonio as a city. And it's really fun. And if you know anything about Vampire the Masquerade, we have a Malkavian prince. So it's like the patients running the asylum is what it's like.
Right. It's almost like Angel Grove, if I'm completely honest, because I come up with the things, but then the Rangers have to save the world.
Yeah, it's nuts. Like baby vampires are trying to fix everything, and it's amazing.
Love that. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much for listening, and everyone. I hope you'll continue our next Stream-A-Thon event, which I'm going to be in a few minutes. Maybe with the blue, maybe without, is called Glitter Hearts, which has like a Sailor Moon Magic Girl transformation feel. So it's a whole different type of thing. Thank you for listening in, and we'll catch you on the next time. May the power protect you.
Thank you.
Much love, everybody.